delay.
Good morning, guys. Hey, we got some
technical
difficulties. Technical difficulties starting today. You can tell it's Halloween. Things are spooky in here, yo.
A little bit.
The internet.
We're gonna try to roll with this as best we can.
The internet that I'm rolling with is terrible right now. So
the internet's trying to take a day off.
Yeah. Apologies to everybody out there, the two people in the chat right now. But yeah, man. Good morning. Football Sunday. Regardless of whether or not my internet is working.
Right. If we can't talk with you guys this morning, well, you still have football.
Right. Yeah,
let's let this ride as long as we can and go from there.
Yeah. I mean, we got to, and if it gets so bad that you guys are like, yo, we can't understand anything that's going on, we'll just press the reset button, and be back in 15. But we're gonna try to rock with you guys today, with the current setup.
Right. If anybody in the is like, this sounds terrible, this looks terrible, or whatever,
I should
just
actually
let us know in the chat.
probably put that
We'll
into
reboot.
I should probably put that into the ticker. Give me a sec.
Yeah, put that into the ticker. While you do that, I'll just go over a couple of quick few notes. Not too much has changed since we were up last night. Austin Eckler is expected to play, and Dak Prescott is still expected to go through a pregame workout, some type of routine to determine the status of his. If he feels fine, he will go. If there's any concern whatsoever from the Cowboys or the trainers or the staff, they will sit. So dicey situation with Dak. If you have Dak, be prepared to pivot unless you have Kirk Cousins. Probably don't have Patrick Mahomes going Monday night or Daniel Jones. If you have one of those three, then that's great. But if you don't, it might be smart to just pivot off of Dak this week.
We got a question. We got a question from Khalid.
Yeah. What's up, Khalid?
Yeah, what's going on, bro? Tim Patrick or Michael Carter? Now this one, I
is
know
a little
you're
tough.
all team start all Denver Broncos. That's what you've been on for the past, 48 hours
for this week. For this week.
Yeah.
I've been in on the Broncos.
But it's hard to sit a starting running back in the league right now. Especially for who should be a depth receiver, Tim Patrick. He should slide back into that third, fourth piece in that rotation. With Judy coming back.
Patrick has been productive.
He's been productive.
Judy's absence.
He's been very productive, but he will slide back into more of a depth role with Judy back out there. He will be the clear third option. Now, at the beginning of the season, he was still doing good, putting up good fantasy numbers with Judy. It was Cortland Sutton Sutton who was not performing at the beginning of the season. It was the Tim Patrick and Jerry Judy show. So he might not disappear all the way, but I do think his workload is going to be lessened. His overall snap count on the field is going to be lessened.
Yeah, I mean, Judy went down like halfway through week one. So the sample size for 2021 for Judy's, he's going to remain involved. I don't hate the idea of Patrick, but I think that's enough of a tier break where I would play the starting running back.
If Judy wasn't coming back this week, I would go Tim Patrick because start all Broncos. But Judy's coming back. It muddies the waters a little bit. Albert O is also coming back from IR, I believe. So he will be back in the mix. Another receiving option there to just muddy the waters. I'm going Michael Carter here. I am. I'm not excited about playing Michael Carter, but
I'm not either.
I'm much less excited about playing Tim Patrick this week.
Yeah, it might be like pulling teeth with Carter because of the matchup. The situation is just kind of sloppy, but he's probably going to get 20. Patrick might get 5. Like, maybe.
Yeah, and everybody, how's the internet? How's the internet? I just glitched a little bit. Is anything glitching for you guys? Let us know.
Yeah.
But Khalid, you got any more questions for us, bro? Let us know.
Yeah,
we hope that helped.
Thanks for tuning in. I just saw the chat buffer a little bit. I just saw the stream itself buffer a little bit. So again, if it's crappy or if it sounds bad or if it looks bad, let us know. We'll do a hard restart and we'll try to get back up and running shortly here. But we don't want to keep it going if it's not anything other than smooth.
Yeah.
So,
because that's not what we're about. But if anybody else in the chat has any more questions for us, please throw them in the chat. You already know.
Everyone's they're all waking up from their Halloween parties last night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yo, if anybody you went to a Halloween party, who did you? What was your costume? Who did you go as?
So what everybody? I think Ted Lasso was pretty popular this year.
Probably.
That was a pretty popular costume. Trying to think what others I saw. I feel like I saw a lot of girls dressed up as like Cardi. I feel like there were a lot of Cardi B costumes this year.
I wasn't out and about last night to see it, so don't ask me. But a lot of Cardis out in Cali?
A lot of Cardis and a lot of Ted Lassos.
Okay. All right. Interesting combination, but I like it. I like it.
Anything goes on Halloween. Spooky season. I don't
Yo,
remember
you got a trade question for us? Hit us, definitely. Mario Sanchez, what's going on, bro?
Okay.
Hit us with that trade question.
Man, things are a little laggy for me right now, so things are popping up a little slow.
I saw that pop up on the stream before I saw it pop up in the chat. Sometimes it does that. There is a little bit of a sync lag, regardless of the connection. But Mario, throw us your trade question.
Yeah, go for it. Let us know.
Yeah, everybody's got to get their trades in before the deadline.
Well, if you play Sleeper, if you play Sleeper, you could probably get a trade. Dynasty. I don't know how. I actually haven't checked redraft settings, but the default for Sleeper is you can make trades immediately. It's not like Yahoo or ESPN where I think the default is like there's a waiting period. So yeah, if it's like you could get one in today if you had to.
Khalid asks Gainwell or Moss.
Oh, shoot. That's tough. I like both.
Nick has been a huge fan of Moss all season. But it's really tough to move off.
Moss.
It's tough to move off a Gainwell this week. It is tough to move off a Gainwell this week. It's half PPR.
They're both pretty close, I would say, as far as rankings. They both have good matchups. Gainwell has the better matchup. But I would say Moss is a little bit more
the Bills
likely to be the starter.
Right. I'd expect the Bills to be up and them just to they're not going to salt the game away. We've spoken about it, and it's why we're so high on Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders and stuff, is because they're just going to continue to pass, especially against the Dolphins. But Moss is a good bet to get a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Moss is a good bet to get a touchdown. But so is Gainwell. It's tough, man. That they're almost right neck and neck for me this week.
If it's half PPR, I think I'm inclined to say Moss, just because
full PPR Gainwell.
Yeah, but like
standard and half PPR Moss.
It was brought up. Here's the thing: whenever there's an injury to the starter, and we've been seeing this more and more, it's not a guarantee that the guy that you expect to step right into the lead role actually does it.
Yeah, it's going to be Jordan Howard, as pointed out by the chat last night.
He's like, I'm like, he's sitting here thinking like he's going to get carries today, and Gainwell's not going to get the touch load that you might expect just because Sanders is out. So I think to that point, I would slightly lean Moss, because Moss, I feel like, is a little bit more locked into a definitive role.
I'm never going to go off of Moss. I love Moss. I'm a Bills fan. But I think I'm take that out of the equation, I'm still going Moss in this situation. If it was full PPR, I'd go Gainwell. Mario.
Hang on. At the very end, he says, now throw in Cordero. I mean, Patterson's got to be in over both of those guys. That's easy.
Yeah.
Patterson. If it's Gainwell, Moss, or Patterson,
you gotta go. You gotta go Patterson. You gotta go Patterson.
Yeah. But anyway, we can get to Mario's now.
I see Gainwell or Moss being high end RB2s, but Patterson can be an RB1 every week. at any given week. So yeah, I'm going Patterson.
I think you just lock him in.
Yep. I mean, I know it just feels weird because it's 31-year-old Cordell Patterson, but you still just got to do it at this point, bro. Mario Sanchez, I would get Deshaun Watson and Sam Darnold. I would be giving away Jalen Hurts, Josh Jacobs, and Dawson Knox. I'm guessing this is Superflex.
Is this Dynasty?
This is, he says Dynasty. Yep, full PPR. Is this Superflex?
If it's Superflex, it's a move for next year. If you're competing this year, if you think you have a shot to win the title this year, then no. Because has been the best floor play for quarterbacks.
Hurts,
this year.
I think, isn't he QB2 right now by points?
He's in the top 5 or 6.
Right, and Josh Jacobs, I love Dawson Knox. But at the end of the day, I mean, he wasn't ranked anywhere close to anybody's top 10 in the beginning of the season.
No.
To that end, he's a surprise, and I like him long term. But he's probably a depth piece for you if you have him at tight end. Josh Jacobs,
24-25.
Oh yeah. No, he's got that RAS. He's tied to he's tied to a great quarterback. I'm not moving off of Knox, but chances are if you have him, you have tight end depth. Like, that's your tight end depth, and it's exceeding expectations, but you probably have a starter that you feel comfortable with starting over him. Josh Jacobs, he's a young running back, but I don't feel uncomfortable moving away from him. The only thing is your return is all tied up in so many different factors. You got the legal situation with Deshaun Watson long term, and you have Sam Darnold, who this isn't a buy low opportunity for Sam Darnold. I don't think he's that good, and I don't know if he's gonna earn a starting role moving forward. He might be Marcus Mariota in a few years.
He says 2 QB and 1 flex. 2 QB and 1
I think
flex
right
spot.
now, if you're trying to win this year, you stick with Jalen Hurts, Josh Jacobs, and Dawson Knox. If you're trying to, if your team is excellent and these guys are just depth guys to you, and you're just shooting for the moon at Superflex and getting those 2 quarterbacks, getting that quarterback depth, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not a win now move.
Correct. Yeah. If you're rebuilding, sure, maybe try to get out of it. You're maybe not a first, but like a second.
Yeah, because I mean, Dawson Knox should be a tight end 1 moving forward.
But if you're, if you think you've got any semblance of a shot this year, then no. Try to win now and then move Hurts in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me started on Knox. Knox is the new Josh Gordon to me. Don't get me started. I'll go on a rant. It's a problem. I'm gonna move on to the next comment here because I don't want to do it.
Let's move on before
Marcus
we go
Brown,
down that road.
Marcus Brown, John. I know you're
What's
high
up,
on
Mark?
Bateman. Hey, this is another one of my guys. Don't do this, bro. Do you think he has a chance to overtake Hollywood in target share?
You think he? Well, I don't
target
have
share?
words in my mouth, but I
Target
think
share?
you do
Yes.
think he does.
Target share? Yes. Overall effectiveness on the field is what we're talking about, and that's what's in question, because Hollywood is one of those guys like Brandon Cooks who can, on one play, take it to the house, and it's like target share be damned. It doesn't matter at that point. But I think Bateman target share, yes, I think it's very likely that he has a equal or higher target share by the end of the season. Fantasy relevance is a different question. I tend to think fantasy relevance comes with that. But again, Hollywood is that Brandon Cooks type guy. So you can't ever count him out on 4 targets. He could get you 3 for 128.
He truly just
you know
needs
what I mean?
one play.
Yeah.
Truly just needs one play.
Yeah.
And he's been capitalizing on those opportunities this year. So.
Yeah. But Bateman's been getting his, and I mean, he's just working into the offense, and he looks. I don't feel uncomfortable starting him. Despite no work in the off season with Lamar Jackson, despite all the different factors. I mean, I don't feel.
Yeah, he could be a wide receiver 3 or flex.
Yeah.
Just going to shout it out one more time and probably going to just keep, continuing to check in. We have been having a couple technical issues this morning to start things off. So if anything's lagging or if anything sounds or looks weird, please let us know.
Yep.
and we can do a hard reboot and get back up and running as soon as possible if it's not a watchable stream. So let us know in the chat, guys, how things are going.
Definitely. But thanks for your question, Marcus. Thanks for your question.
Yep.
Dylan Horn, who should I pick up in my flex spot out of KJ Osborne or Samaje half PPR?
I think I'm inclined to.
You know what I mean? He's not getting
I know
quite as many touchdowns.
He had a touchdown a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but Samaje's. I feel like I've seen Samaje a whole lot more.
Yeah.
I feel like
my apps are
I've looked
freezing.
up and yeah, Samaje. I think I'm going Samaje there. I wouldn't have said that earlier in the season.
Actually, Osborne popped in his last game, 6 for 78 with a touchdown. That was week 6. The Vikings had their bye week last week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So but before that, he had 3 straight games where he had 3 catches or less, and he topped out at 26 yards.
And Jay Riot says the stream is fine. Awesome. Maybe we're just having connection problems between me and Nick.
Yeah, maybe it's just it's just us.
Yeah.
Too.
Hey, we're glad it's working.
Thanks, Jay Riot.
Yep.
A specific way in order to be involved. If you think the Bengals are gonna, beat the Jets by double digits, then Samaje is gonna mix in, especially in the second half.
I think the game script in his favor works well this week. If you're looking for a long-term play, probably it's KJ Osborne, because he looks to have, I don't know. I tend to go long-term play for edge wide receiver there, but
for this week,
for the matchup,
I would say
matchup against the
Samaje.
Jets, it's kind of golden for Samaje right now.
Yeah, what are the Jets giving up to running backs? They're giving up the most points to running backs.
They're the team that edged out the Detroit Lions. They're giving up 34 fantasy points to opposing running backs this year across 7 games.
Dylan, there's my answer for you. It might
Samaje.
be like, it might feel a little hairy, especially in the second half. He might be a couple of touches, but if the Bengals have a 10-point lead or whatever, which I think is fair to expect. It's the Jets and a backup quarterback. Piron's going to get opportunity. He would be my guy.
Not getting that. Go get that Piron disease, bro.
Jesus.
Sorry. All right. Would you Marcus Brown? Would you trade Waddle for Hawkinson, or should I just wait for Logan Thomas to return since he's on my IR?
What's the latest on Logan Thomas? I feel like I checked
he's
on
kinda,
him
he's,
last
it's
week,
all
and
static.
I haven't seen an update.
It's all static. There's no movement right now on Logan Thomas potentially coming back. I think they need him. But Ricky Seals-Jones has been decent in his absence too, but I think when he comes back, he takes all of the entire role.
They just signed him to a contract.
It depends what
When
your
he's
wide
healthy,
receiver
they're
depth
not
is.
gonna
What's
sit
your
him.
wide receiver depth, Marcus? If he's your 4th, 5th wide receiver, if you picked him up and he's your 5th wide receiver, then yeah. If he's not, if he's your 3rd wide receiver and you need him to start every week, depending on who you got behind him,
then maybe not.
Maybe not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Let us know, Marcus, who your other wide receivers are. Depending on who you got.
Yep.
Could be a pull the trigger, or it could be it could go either way, because I like Waddle rest of season.
Yeah, but I like Logan Thomas when he comes back. We
need an update.
But it's hard to. TJ Hawkinson, despite him being not the greatest play the past few weeks, despite him being a little bit banged up, I mean, he's still a top 6 play every week when he's in. With that offense, offense, yeah. So
I think Hawkinson.
It's not a bad move.
Hawkinson's going to score today.
Yeah.
I'll just say that Hawkinson will score today.
I
have no faith in the Eagles linebackers. Yeah.
There you go.
Just throwing that out there.
I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna put money down on it.
Do it.
But we hope that answers your question. Let us know what your wide receivers are. Let us know what your wide receivers are. I think you just threw it in there. AJ Brown, Keenan Allen, Rashad Bateman, and Waddle are my wide receivers. If he's,
Waddle's ahead.
I'd be starting. I'd be starting Waddle ahead of Bateman for right now. But I mean, who's on the wire, wide receiver wise?
Yeah.
I'm inclined to say no right now.
With that, I'm inclined to say
if you can throw Logan Thomas
Allen
in with the deal and get a startable wide receiver back, that's maybe not as hot of a name as Waddle.
That's not a bad idea.
But if you can still get somebody back to kind of bolster your wide receiver depth, so you're not just completely shot there.
Yeah, that's
that
fun.
might be the way to go.
Because
you get the startable tight end, and your wide receiver depth isn't decimated. You know what I mean?
Right. That's better. Yeah. If Keenan Allen and Rashad Bateman are your wide receiver 2 and 3, that's that. I wish I could say I had more confidence in that, but I don't right now. I like Waddle, as depth there.
Yeah, and Bateman's on a bye. Lawrence says Bateman's on a bye. Yeah.
So you have to play Waddle this week.
Yeah,
sure.
Unless you're getting a wide receiver back.
If
you can get the trade done, if you don't have a 3-day wait period or whatever, if it's an instantaneous trade deal, either Sam Darnold against Atlanta or Tua against the Bills. Thanks.
I don't think it's that hard, even though it might
Tua.
feel like pulling teeth.
I think it's Tua.
Really, I was gonna say it's Darnold. The Bills are a matchup nightmare.
But they're not gonna. They're not gonna be running the ball well, so they're gonna have to throw the ball to get out.
No, I think Tua has.
But Sam Darnold could get benched. That's my problem. It's not whether or not Sam Darnold. If we knew that Sam Darnold was finishing the game, I'd go Sam Darnold. But we've seen them be willing to go to PJ Walker, relatively early in a game. Like it was.
All I'll say is I didn't consult you on this, but John and I actually co-own a startup dynasty team that is Superflex League. I pulled Dak Prescott out for Sam Darnold.
Okay, I'm looking right now. Fantasy points to quarterbacks. I mean, they're not just killing running backs right now. The Bills are the best defense in the league against quarterbacks, too. They're only averaging 12.8 fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. So I changed my mind.
I think you roll the dice on Darnold to,
you hope he finishes out the game
today.
You hope he finishes out the game. Yep.
Let's see if Darnold can get right today. The Falcons are giving up way more points. They're not like, worst in the league, but they're a much better matchup than the Bills. I think Tua is a perfectly fine start next week against Houston. I think he needs to be on the bench this week. I know
against almost any other team. Against
Tua
almost
might have
any
like 2
other
or 3
team.
turnovers today.
Against almost any other team, I'd be going Tua. But with Tua against the Bills, with that stat, 12.8 fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks.
Darnold.
Nah. All the way off.
Darnold and hope.
Because if Darnold doesn't make it through a full game, he probably has around 12 fantasy points for you. If he's like one touchdown, 150 yards, and like four interceptions, and they pull him, like he's around that. You're shooting for more than that.
So I don't think he'll have that bad of a game.
Darnold. I don't either. But the possibility is always there. Red and Gold 408. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Thanks, Red and Gold. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Who do I flex? Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk, or Kadarius Toney?
Well, we just got done talking about how we don't think the Dolphins are going to do that much against the Bills.
It's between Devonta Smith and Waddle for me just because of the question mark that surrounds Toney's availability.
Right, because if you go with Toney and he doesn't play, then you're stuck playing like Darius Slayton.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to say I don't like Tua this week, but I'm not totally off Waddle this week. Just because he could be a PPR monster, like seven catches for 60 yards or whatever. It's hard to trust the Eagles right now. To that point, the Lions are not a scary matchup when it comes to really anything. But
I'm not playing Ayuk.
No shot. No shot, to be honest. The Bills are a bad matchup for wide receivers. I will say that. They're one of the worst. I think Waddle is good enough to deliver a floor play because of game script. Devonta Smith has the better matchup, but a much not much less. The Eagles are a question mark on offense.
Yeah.
The Lions don't have anybody like Tre'Davious White, though. I think I would give a slight edge to Devontae Smith because the Bills are that bad of a matchup for most offenses.
If you're willing to play the risk, I mean,
Waddle's
do you wait out
play,
for Tony?
Devontae
Do
is
you
the
wait out for
ceiling
Tony
play.
and
No.
try to get a contingency plan just in case for the late games?
Because the contingency plan is Darius Slayton, you know.
In a vacuum, I like Tony so much more than all those other guys at the moment with the match, considering the matchup, but considering his availability, you just can't go that route. So I guess I'd go Waddle if he wasn't playing the Bills. Again, I'm staying away from anybody playing the Bills. I guess I'd go Devonta Smith.
So you're between. So here's my final thoughts on this, red and gold. Tony would be my number one if he wasn't slapped with the questionable tag.
Yeah.
Because he is, and because it's Monday night. If you leave him in there, you're probably stuck playing either Darius Slayton or somebody on the Chiefs like Byron Pringle. If you feel okay rolling those dice, then I would say Tony. If you're not, the floor play is Jalen Waddle. If you think you need upside, the ceiling play is Devontae Smith.
I agree with all that, 100%.
That's my final thoughts. If I had to rank them, Tony, I'll put Smith second because he's the ceiling play. Waddle's the floor play, and then Ayuk is fourth. And I don't think in the conversation, to be honest.
And yeah,
but
against anybody else, it'd be Waddle over Smith. But it's
yeah. Right now it would be because Waddle's been a PPR monster. But because of Tony's situation, playing on Monday night, slapped with a questionable tag, I have to lower how good I feel about him.
Yeah.
Now he'll play and go for 7 for 110. And
you keep saying that. You keep saying
I
that.
know.
Don't put that bad
I know.
energy
I'm gonna put the bad juju out there in the universe. But yeah, no, I would say Devontae Smith is your upside play. If you red and gold, if you're looking at your matchup and you're like, I could use an upside play, then Devontae Smith. If you think you can play it safe, I would just play Waddle.
Yep.
Tony's the swing for the fences, but it could be a strikeout.
But thanks for the super, bro. Appreciate it. We hope you win your matchup this week. Definitely. If you have any more questions, throw them in the chat.
We hope we're right about it.
Yeah, that too, obviously. Khalid, yeah, you're welcome, bro. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any more questions, definitely. I see you got one below. We'll get to it in a second. Jay Riot, should I start Cooper Rush? No. Or Mac Jones. I could start Cooper Rush or Mac Jones too, but those suck even worse, I think.
No,
I mean it'd be Mac Jones over, but I think
Mac Jones.
I'd still go.
I would go Darnold.
Mac Jones hasn't shown the upside weeks very often.
Mac Jones might be a little bit. I mean, is it
He's
crazy to say Mac Jones might be a little
option.
safer than Darnold?
He's the safest option out there, Mac Jones. If you're going floor play, it's Mac Jones. It's crazy to say if you're going ceiling play, it's Sam Darnold, but I guess we're saying that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're saying. Do you agree with that? I don't know if I agree with that. Ceiling play, Sam Darnold? Would I rather go Mac Jones?
Mac Jones is the floor play.
Against the Chargers.
Falcons
are a bottom 3 defense to opposing quarterbacks. 23.3 fantasy points. So yeah, still Sam Darnold. I can't believe it. Sam Darnold is the ceiling play.
Still Sam Darnold.
Sorry, bro.
Still Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Breaking news, actually from FanDuel, Antonio Brown expected to return Week 10. So could be a much shorter absence than what we were originally fearing after he was spotted with a crutch in practice this week.
Okay, it's good news. We'll
good
put
news
out
a
video on that within the next few days to get you guys fully informed with everything that happens today in mind. But let's get back. We hope that helps, Jay Riot. Mac Jones floors play, Sam Darnold ceiling play. Mario Sanchez 2 QB 1 flex spot for your question.
That was the Deshaun Watson trade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eddie Ward, J.D. McKissick, or Samaje Perine at flex.
I think I go McKissick there. I mean, it's been up and down. It's been like every other week. But McKissick has, in those every other weeks, has come through. He has delivered.
Yeah, I mean, PPR.
We keep talking about how there's very few pass catchers for Washington. So McKissick,
Yeah, I mean, if it's
got a shot
if it's
today.
standard, I might be going Perrine. But if you're going to have PPR, and I don't know because he didn't throw that in there, I would be going McKissick. But just for clarification, there, if you are playing standard, go Perrine.
I
think he sees enough work today with it playing again the Jets. I think I'd go Perrine and standard. But there you go. Hope that helps, Eddie. Thanks for tuning in. Khalid, thank you for the super chat, bro.
Khalid.
Appreciate it.
That.
Much appreciated. You ask Tyler Lockett or Jamison Crowder this week. That's tough. I think I gotta go Lockett though. I don't think you trust Mike White with a with the guy that's like third or fourth down the depth chart on the wide receiver.
That's enough of a tier break. I mean,
Lockett's still the wide receiver 2 for Geno Smith, and I mean, if I'm going backup quarterback rankings, I'm going Geno Smith over Mike White. So, yeah, Lockett, but I don't feel great about it, unfortunately. And
I don't feel great about it. The Bengals are in the top 10 in fewest wide receiver points allowed. Jacksonville is more middle of the pack, and Lockett that's enough of a tier break. I know it feels kind of gross right now, but I think I would play Lockett, and you just gotta hope for a broken play, a big play, like a busted play where he's able to get behind.
Yeah, we've seen the ceiling play from Crowder this year. We've seen the target monster game with the touchdown, but I don't expect that this week with Mike White.
Game script is in his favor, but when it's two backup quarterbacks, just give me the better receiver. Just give me the better player.
Yep. Agreed. But thank you again for your super chat, bro. If you got any more questions, you already know, throw them in the chat. Mario Sanchez, you're welcome, bro. You rock too. We hope you win your matchup this week.
Yeah, hopefully it helps.
Eddie Ward, Osborne, or T.Y. Hilton at wide receiver 3 this week?
I think there I go.
Do you go Osborne?
I mean, I think so. I think I would go Osborne over T.Y. It's a good matchup for T.Y.
Is he playing Houston?
Well, if he was, then he'd be an auto smash. But they're playing Tennessee.
Okay.
So it is a division opponent. Giving up lots of points to quarterbacks and wide receivers. Tennessee's not scary on defense, but it is, I think, T.Y.'s first game back after missing a couple of games, or at least one. I can't keep track of T.Y.'s been in and out of the lineup this year.
Yeah.
I know he missed last week. So first game back. I guess I would say Osborne, just because
the Dallas Cowboys are giving up 34.2 fantasy points to opposing wide receivers.
That's pretty good. That's a good amount.
I mean, that's bottom 10 in the league right now. So, I mean, they're not a matchup to attack, but if it's the tipping point between two wide receivers there, I'm going Osborne.
Slight edge to Osborne.
Yep.
Slight edge to Osborne.
Now, the Tennessee Titans are giving up the most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers, 39.8. I did just notice that. They are at the bottom of the rankings. They're giving up almost 40 points to opposing wide receivers, and we know that when T.Y. Hilton's in the game, he's getting it's Michael Pittman and T.Y. Hilton all day. Dude, does that sway you? Does that sway you? 40 fantasy points to opposing wide receivers?
T.Y. is
on average.
T.Y. is still questionable with his quad injury that he suffered during week 6 that forced him to miss week 7.
Yeah.
It's a good matchup for T.Y., but he's way more volatile.
Yeah.
T.Y. is a ceiling play.
It's the ceiling play. It's the boom bust ceiling play. Yeah, absolutely.
T.Y. is boom bust this week. T.Y. has a high ceiling, but he's questionable. So his floor is literally 0. Osborne, maybe not spectacular, but has a slightly safer floor.
I'd agree with that. Thanks for your question, Eddie. Mark De Silva, what's going on, bro? Eli Mitchell or Antonio Gibson, RB2, full PPR? I'm going Gibson. I'm going Gibson. He's the stud. You gotta, at the beginning of the season, he was top 10 wide receiver, running back coming into the season.
He was a high second-round pick. Yeah.
Right. You gotta just continue to start your stubs. Elijah Mitchell, I like him, but he hasn't done anything over the past few weeks for me to think that I should be playing him over Gibson. And we have one more week of JaMychal Hasty being back in that offense, so he should continue to see a somewhat larger role, just because he's more healthy coming
He'll
back.
Get a couple touches.
Right. So yeah, I'm going Gibson there.
Gibson. Full week of practice. It has been like limited sessions, but the fact that he got working on a Wednesday, I think Gibson is getting healthy. Gibson.
Slim Reaper, what's going on, bro?
What's up, Slim?
Matt Stafford, Aquarius. Oh, here we go. Van Jefferson, Leo. Same astrology chemistry as Tom Brady, Leo, and Randy Moss, Aquarius. I know Matt and Van are Tom and Randy, just similar chemistry.
Lock it in. So
hey,
Van's going for 8, 150, and 2 today.
Sometimes you just got to look for the stars for your answers. You know what I mean? For your fantasy answers.
Yeah. Poetic.
There you go. Thank you, Slim.
Yes, what's up with Knox?
Yo, were you listening when I told you not to get me started on Knox? Come on, bro.
He's the new Josh
his hand is broken, and with a broken hand, in the game that he broke his hand in, he threw a touchdown pass, or he threw a 2-point conversion.
I thought it was a touchdown.
Was it a touchdown? It was one or the other.
I thought it was.
I think it was a touchdown.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Because he was a former quarterback, and not everybody knows that. He was a quarterback position convert in college, and so little tidbit there. You might see some more gadget plays from him in the future. But I mean, Dawson Knox, RAS above 9. You already know I love that. Relative athletic score coming into the league of above 9, which all of the Hall of Fame tight ends of the recent past have. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Rob Gronkowski. They all have that. They all have that. And Knox has that, and he plays with a top 3 quarterback for the rest of time. Let's be real. He's got a few game absence, and then he's coming back, and he will continue to be a tight end 1 for you for the rest of the season, and the rest of the time he is with the Bills. Because Tommy Sweeney's a hot name right now as a fill-in, but he ain't taking no work from Dawson Knox when he's healthy. Nah, he ain't doing it. And Cole Beasley will be gone in a few years, if not next year, because they're gonna have to start really paying some guys that they have on their squad, like Josh Allen, and handing out some contracts to some of these dudes. So they're gonna need to divest themselves of veterans, and it's.
Does the Allen contract kick in next year?
I believe so. And then it's Dawson Knox to the moon. It's Dawson Knox to the moon. And I believe Cole Beasley costs about $7 million, a little under $7 million against the cap, if I remember correctly from doing a video on him a few weeks ago. Next year, so it could be Dawson Knox season, like moving forward next year. It could be all the time. He could be a top 3 option. That's what's up with Knox, Slim. You got me started.
You've said enough.
I've said enough. I'm done.
Okay. Lawrence thinks Bateman becomes a reliable wide receiver 2 sooner than later. I don't disagree. I think Hollywood maintains the wide receiver 1 spot in that offense for the rest of at least this year.
And I could see that happening, but I could also see Bateman taking that, but it won't be a stranglehold. I mean, he'll be somewhat sharing it. If he does get that edge over Hollywood, good. It would be 1A, 1B. It's never going to be Hollywood's relegated to full-time, like, a beta role. He's still going to be involved in that offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Slim, you already know. Face mesh fan.
You already know.
Yeah, all that. Dylan Horn, you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in.
Hopefully that helps.
Lawrence Franklin, what's going on? I think we saw you yesterday. Thanks for tuning in again. Got Ricky Seals and Gronk. I'm starting Gronk. It's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
if Gronk is starting, it's a no-brainer.
It is his first game back, and it is going into the Bucs bye week next week. But this is a huge game. They're playing New Orleans. This is, This is to get the Tampa can kind of put a mini, not like significant, but like a mini stranglehold on the division if they can win this game today. So they're going to sell out to get this win. Because the Bucs don't want to have to go on the road for the entirety of their playoff run again, like they did last year.
Yeah.
To that point, Gronk should be involved. There's a non-zero chance Gronk, non-zero. So I'm when I say that, I mean like it maybe not necessarily is a very high chance, but there's a non-zero chance Gronk is a bit of a decoy this week. Like it's a get right or it's a get healthy game. The Bucs go into their bye week and he comes back and he goes officially back to being a top 5 tight end 10. But if it's between Gronk and Seals Jones, I'm still going to play Gronk and hope for the best.
Now, I do have to say that the report is that there is optimism that Rob Gronkowski plays week 8. So
that you mean today?
Right. That's what the report says.
Yeah, no,
There's
he's going
optimism.
to play this. He's going to play. I'm just saying.
No, he might not play. That's what I'm saying. There's optimism. We've seen it play out to where there was optimism somebody was playing and then they still sat him. I mean, we've seen that. So you do have to watch out for that close to game time.
Man,
and
he is questionable.
We'll keep that.
So here's the thing. They both play at the same time. So it's just keep an eye on it, Lawrence. If Gronk is ruled out, then obviously, then Steele's. They both play. I think they both start at 4:25.
Yep.
They do. So actually, that works out very nicely. If Gronk is out, you can just plug Seals Jones in.
But don't forget about that. Just make sure to keep an eye on the situation. Yep. But thanks for tuning in, bro. Bateman's on by. Yeah. Do you see Michael Gallup being a wide receiver 3 or possibly better rest of season? Wide receiver 3, sure. I don't know if he gets better than wide receiver 3. I think he's an upside wide receiver 3 all season.
Yeah, he'll have. I mean, he could absolutely have wide receiver 2 weeks if the Cowboys find themselves in situations where they need to, where they need to score. They need to throw the ball. They need to, it's a tough or it's a shootout or whatever.
Yep.
Yes, I mean he's got to prove he's healthy. He's missed a lot of time. He's missed, basically the first 7.5 weeks of the season. So we need to see him get it. He needs to get his feet under him, his legs under him. Obviously, missing all that time. But
he was a high-end wide receiver 3.
Then yeah,
he was a high-end wide receiver 3 last year with the quarterback carousel that was Andy Dalton, Cooper Rush, and Gilbert Garrett.
Gallup's a good player.
Yeah, Gallup is going to be at least a high-end wide receiver 3. I just don't know if he sees the ceiling of every week wide receiver 2 that we've seen from him, 2 years ago before they drafted CeeDee Lamb. But the talent is definitely there.
Is better.
Yeah,
the Cowboys' defense is better, therefore fewer shootouts required for Dallas.
And both running backs healthy and doing work. So we might not see the ceiling games from Gallup that we saw a few years ago, but wide receiver 3 is definitely I think that's a lock. I think he's a lock to return to wide receiver 3 value. I just think that might be all he sees this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the talent. I mean, if he was getting more of a workload, he could be we've seen him be a wide receiver, a low-end wide receiver 1. So, I mean, he could do it. High-end wide receiver 2. Jay Riot, I've been switching him back and forth this whole week. Oh, who are you talking about? Cooper Rush and Mac Jones and Sam Darnold and Tua.
We addressed that.
Yep. Tanya, what's up? Tony E. Tanya. Have PPR, pick 1. CeeDee Lamb, Metcalf, or Javonte. Pick 1.
I think it's Metcalf.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
No, it's Metcalf. It's Metcalf. He's a guy that he should have a high target share, but it also only takes him 1 play. I know you could say that about CD, but he's not the number 1 target in that offense, and Metcalf is.
CD's the number 1 target in the Cowboys offense.
You think he is?
Absolutely. But I would still, given the situation, I mean they're both playing.
It's not Amari?
No.
I guess not.
I think CD has overtaken Amari already. They're both playing with backup quarterbacks. So by default, I'll go with the guy who had slightly higher draft capital this year, which was Metcalf.
Yeah, I'm going Metcalf. I know it pains you to sit the Javonte, but
Well, it pains me to sit CeeDee.
yeah, that too. Jay
If
Riot.
it's Cooper Rush, I guess I'll go Metcalf. Hobbled Dak, I obviously, even if Dak plays,
Then maybe
again,
CeeDee?
it's Sunday night. This is the pain. This is the pain in the ass with figuring this type of stuff out.
And for what it's worth, the report was, and the wording of it was interesting. It said the latest report was it's still up in the air, but Michael Galkin reports that Dak Prescott starting on Sunday Night Football would, quote, surprise many close to the situation, end quote. So that's not promising. So yeah, I'd go Metcalf.
Metcalf.
Yep.
Metcalf.
Jay Riot, last time Tua played, I'm guessing the Bills, not Tua. Last time Tua played the Bills, he got injured and fractured his ribs. Yeah.
And then Darnold had a terrible game last week. Yeah, I think we got to throw that out.
Yeah, well, no, we don't got to. Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, but Tua's gonna be it's a hard matchup for Tua. It's a hard matchup for any quarterback.
Could be
Rico Baptiste, what's going on, bro? Flex 1, Pittman
Rico?
or Darrell Williams? I think we had this question yesterday, and we went Darrell Williams. Did we not?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I would go Williams.
PPR for the flex question. Yeah, I'd still go Williams.
That's fine. Starting running back for the Chiefs in a great matchup against the Giants. Obviously, the Titans are giving up tons of points to wide receivers, but Ty is back, or we think he's back. He's questionable with the calf injury or the quad injury.
If Ty is not back, I could see with PPR, I could see myself maybe thinking Pittman might be a better play there because, almost 40 points to opposing wide receivers. He has that 20-point week this week, and you're hoping that Darrell Williams reaches that 20-point threshold that he had earlier in the season, like 2 weeks ago. So in that situation, maybe Pittman.
It's close.
Keep your eye on the T.Y. Hilton situation, but, Darrell
really
Williams is the play of T.Y. plays. Yep.
If T.Y.'s out,
Pittman.
You would put Pittman in over Williams?
I would do, yeah. I don't want to sit Darrell Williams, but I think the matchup is just so juicy.
The matchup
is so juicy.
The matchup is phenomenal. All right, that's fair. If T.Y.'s in, then I'll pivot to Darrell Williams, but keep an eye on the injury status of T.Y. Hilton.
Again, Colts playing the Titans. They're giving up 39.8 fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. And isn't Campbell still out too?
He might be done for the season.
Right. So it's consolidated target share. If Ty ain't playing, I'm going Ty. Or I'm going Pittman if Ty ain't playing.
If Ty plays, go Williams. If Ty sits, go Pittman.
Logan Hampton, CD or AJ Brown? I'm going AJ Brown this week with Julio not playing. Consolidated target share again. Yeah.
Tannehill's in. Dak might not be in. AJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
AJ Brown.
He showed out last week, and his reemergence should continue. Yeah. Slim Reaper. But thanks for the question, Logan. Thanks for the question. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Slim Reaper, if Carson is done for the season, do you think they trade for Marlon? No.
We kind of brought up Marlon Mack yesterday. The fact that the Colts cut Jordan Wilkins makes me believe that they're more likely now to just keep Mack.
Yeah.
I'm now of the belief that Mack is not getting traded.
I don't think so either. With that news coming out, I don't think so either.
I know Jordan Wilkins doesn't like. Not that Jordan Wilkins is a difference maker. Obviously he's he wasn't. He got released. But I think that means they're going to be much thinner as far as depth if they trade Mack in that situation. Obviously Taylor is Taylor. He's not coming off the field.
But think about it in terms of if Taylor went down. They would be if they were concerned.
Right
if they were concerned, they wouldn't have let go of Jordan Wilkins for no reason. I think it's a vote of confidence in keeping Mac for the season, and
I think they want to.
But we do think Carson is done for the season. We do think that is a strong possibility.
I think Carson's. The Seahawks are not too far away from staring down a lost season, so they may not bother trading.
Do you think Russell Wilson stays in Seattle, or do you think he forces his hand finally and just GTFOs?
I gotta look at his contract
there's been
situation.
rumblings that would be happening for some
Yeah,
time.
it was being talked about over the offseason.
Yeah, obviously the front office is just stuck in the mud. They got the oldest head coach. I mean, how old isn't he? In his 80s?
No,
isn't Pete Carroll in his 80s?
No, like 70. He coaches like he's 95, but I think he's like 70.
Okay, yeah, he's
so
70.
There is an
but
out.
Still.
There's a potential out in Russell Wilson's contract after this year. But
right.
Then the Seahawks will be slapped with a dead cap hit of $26 million. So I think he's in Seattle one more year. Maybe 2023. Maybe 2023.
I want to see him out, man. I want to. Not that I love DK, so it's gonna hurt for DK's prospects moving forward unless they get a guy in who's at all comparable. And I just don't see that happening. Russell Wilson's Hall of Famer.
That's doubtful.
Yeah.
The dead cap hit goes down, from 26 million to 13 million in 2023. So I feel like that's when it's a little bit more realistic. I think Russ is in Seattle next year.
But let's get back to some of these questions. Thank you for your questions, Slim. Thanks for always supporting. You already know. And thank you for the astrology.
Always. That's that hard-hitting analysis that we need.
Yes, sir. Jorge Colon, what's going on, bro? So I have a good problem to have start for Damian Harris, Elijah Mitchell, Ridley, Jamar Chase, or Devonta Smith.
Well,
I
Jamar
think I'm sitting Elijah Mitchell. I think you still have to. Or no? Do you start Mitchell over Devonta Smith? You sit Devonta Smith there. I think you might sit Devonta Smith.
Smith is a ceiling play. Mitchell's a floor play.
I think you
Jamar,
play
Ridley,
Harris,
Damian Harris. Play those
Harris,
three.
Mitchell, Ridley, Chase. I'm going. That's my four.
You're going Mitchell over Smith.
I'm sitting Smith. Yep.
I'm fine with that. I would say Devon is an upside play if you think you need it. Mitchell's a safer floor play.
Yeah.
But the other three have to be in. Just have to.
I would agree.
Oh, Khalid had another question.
What's going on, Khalid?
We gotta get to this one.
Yes, sir. Hubbard, Mitchell, Gainwell, D. Smith, pick 2. Devontae Smith, pick 2. Lockett or Crowder, Chenault, Lockett or Chenault, Lockett, Robinson. Is Alex Collins playing? All right, let's get through. Let's do this one by one. First of all, we can knock out the Alex Collins ones kind of quickly. He's questionable, so it could go either way. If he plays, he's probably gonna get the most snaps and touches. From the Seahawks backfield. Yeah, I don't. That's
feel
not saying
great
much
about that.
Yeah,
right.
That's not a very high upside play.
He's gonna get the most if he is able to go.
And I'm going to work backwards from there. Chenault, Lockett, or Robinson. I'm guessing that's James Robinson. I'm playing Robinson. If that's Allen Robinson.
Or Allen, I'm going Lockett.
I'm going Lockett. And it doesn't feel great. Then I can't believe I'm doing that. But I'm going Lockett, playing with Geno Smith over Allen Robinson, playing with Justin Fields.
Lockett over Crowder as well.
Lockett over Crowder, too. We had that question earlier in the chat, I believe. And Hubbard, Mitchell, Gainwell, Devontae Smith, pick 2.
Would you go Hubbard
Mitchell?
Gainwell?
Hubbard Mitchell?
You like
Hubbard
Mitchell
Gainwell?
over Gainwell?
It's one of those two. It's Hubbard Mitchell.
I feel like you like Gainwell this week.
It's Hubbard, and then it's either Mitchell or Gainwell. But you're playing Hubbard for sure because he's getting that RB1 workload right now.
He's getting the work.
Mitchell's getting the workload, but that offense is just like, ugh. But now Gainwell's getting that workload too, and that offense is stay away too. So it's really, who do you like more in the to have a versatile role, to be involved in whatever game script is coming their way?
I think I'd go Gainwell over Mitchell.
I think Gainwell's the ceiling play if you're going running
Gainwell's
back to Gainwell.
Ceiling.
Mitchell's the floor.
Right.
Because Mitchell, his workload's solidified. It's not really changing this week. Gainwell's kind of up in the air. We're not sure how much Jordan Howard is going to be involved, if at all. We're not sure if Boston Scott's going to get 50% of the work and then Gainwell's going to get 50% of the work, or Gainwell's going to get more than that. We're just really not sure how it's going to shake out for this week. Now, they are playing the Lions, who give up the second most fantasy points to opposing running backs. So
yeah, Hubbard and Gainwell, I would say that'd be my play.
That's what gives me pause there. It's that the matchup is so good for Gainwell. I go Gainwell. I think I got to go Gainwell. Let me see where Chicago ranks.
They're not as like strong as maybe you would think.
Yeah, 20 fantasy points to opposing running backs versus.
Yeah, they're like middle of the package.
Versus 20.
Maybe they're
26.
top half of the middle of the pack, but like not very.
It's 20 versus 26. That's the difference. It's basically 6 points to opposing running backs.
The difference is a touchdown.
There you go. Yeah.
Gainwell.
Agreed.
There you go.
Hope that helps, bro. Thanks for your question. Thanks for your super chat earlier. You already know.
Appreciate it.
Alejandro Burgos, what's going on, bro? Non-PPR flex Marvin Jones or Devontae Smith. Marvin Jones has he been getting it done the past few weeks?
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's been getting the air yards. I just don't know how many boom weeks he's had. I guess I'd go Marvin Jones.
The Seahawks, I think, are a good matchup for wide receivers. Or no, they're lower down the list. I always think the Seahawks are getting gashed by run back and quarterback, not necessarily wide receivers.
Because teams don't have to. Yeah, the teams don't have to attack.
Right, because they're run. Yeah, because
right. I don't think it's that the Seahawks are good against wide receivers.
James Robinson's having a big day today.
Yeah.
The Lions are giving up. It's kind of the same situation. It's kind of the same exact situation. Both opposing defenses for both of these guys are getting crushed by running backs. They're more middle of the pack against wide receivers.
I'm going Marvin Jones.
Mainly because
the quarterback's better.
Teams don't have to do as much.
Quarterback's better at airing it out. I'm going Marvin Jones. If it's really kind of a wash between the stats as far as what wide receivers are getting, I think I'm just going Marvin Jones because Trevor Lawrence has been much better airing it out to his weapons than Jalen Hurts has.
Let me see. Let me take a look at Marvin Jones versus Devontae Smith. So again, Jacksonville's another team that had a week 7 before that. 1 catch, 25 yards on 6 targets. 3 targets, caught all 3 for 24 yards. So the 2 weeks prior to that, actually, Marvin Jones did not deliver. And then the first 3 weeks of the season, he was
to your point, you think Shenault is dead. You think Jamal Agnew has taken his role. So it's the Jamal Agnew and Marvin Jones show at wide receiver. So I mean,
actually,
wide receiver.
Devontae Smith has been more consistent more recently.
I will say the matchup is really it's 2 fantasy points difference between the matchup based if you're going the points that Detroit's given you versus the points that Seattle's given you. It's 2 points.
Marvin Jones popped in a great game last week. So past 4 games for Devontae Smith: 5 for 61, 2 for 31, so not great. 7 for 77, and then 7 for 122, and then he had a couple of duds weeks 2 and 3, but that was a month ago. I think I leaned Devontae Smith.
Okay,
I'm going Devontae Smith over Marvin Jones.
I'm going Marvin Jones, so we're just gonna have to see how this goes at the end of the day.
Yeah, what's the chat think? What do you Devontae Smith against the Lions or Marvin Jones against the Seahawks? I feel like Marvin Jones might be the more popular pick. Not to put thoughts in anybody's heads, but I think I would lean Devontae Smith. He's actually been a little bit more consistent than you might feel based on how.
Well, he should. He's the number 1 wide receiver in that offense. I mean, he should be. Right. He should be the most consistent option. But to that point, I feel like Marvin Jones should be too, and the offense is just better. So I'm going edge Marvin Jones there. We'll see how that one shakes out.
John goes edge Marvin Jones. I go edge.
But thanks for your question, Alejandro. My bad for not giving you a definitive answer there.
Yeah,
we're kind of split, but
we're
gonna have to.
At the matchup,
we might have to come back to that one. We might have to come back to that one at the end of the stream before you dip and go chill with Will. But we have a super chat here from Grind for Fun. Grind for Fun streamer. Thanks for the super. Michael Carter or Brandon Bolden have PPR. I'm going Michael Carter.
Yeah, I would go Carter. It's not great. I know Bolden scored last week, so it was good. Bolden delivered. He came through. The Chargers. Where do the Chargers rank against running backs? Oh, they're top like 3.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
They're bad against running backs.
Oh, they are. They're bad.
Chargers are. They're bad against running backs.
I'm looking right now.
The Bengals are like our top 10. What's the status of Ramondre Stevenson?
They're not top 3.
Doghouse?
I mean, they're top.
That's what I have.
Oh, they are. They're top 5. They're bottom 5.
Sorry.
They're bottom 5. 26.3.
Right. Yeah, sorry. It's a great matchup for the Patriots running backs. So Damian Harris is going to have a day where he should.
Yeah.
But Bolden should mix in as well. Is Ramondre Stevenson still in the doghouse? He doesn't have an injury.
I feel like both of them are, but I know J.J. Taylor did work last week.
Running back coach on Stevenson's week 8 status. We'll see.
I feel like that's been their status on him every week. It's just like, we don't like this guy. We'll see.
I think Bolden is I think Bolden is a sneaky, savvier play than Carter. Well, Carter's locked into more volume.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way.
It's a floor play, ceiling play that situation again. Carter
is a safer floor play with some downside, but he should see 20 touches. Bolden might only get 7 or 8, but it's a much better matchup. Bolden's the ceiling play if you think you need some upside. If you think you can play it safe, go Carter.
And I'm going Carter, despite the
you're going Carter
metrics going in Brandon Bolden's favor. I know it's been a weird year with all these veterans producing.
Patriots
feel
running backs are
I can't
unpredictable.
Start Brandon Bolden. I'm sorry. I can't bring myself to do it.
Carter's a little bit more.
It's chalkier. You're going out on a limb, starting Brandon Cooks. Then I could see it working out for you, but you are going out on a limb there. Or Bolden. Sorry.
Yeah. Carter's a little safer.
Yep. But thanks for your super chat, bro. Appreciate it. You hope that helps.
We got a good number of questions in here.
Yes, sir. Sotober 24. What's going on? McKissick or Mitchell? I'm going. Is that Mitchell or Michelle? I'm going
Mitchell.
It's Mitchell.
I think it's Mitchell.
1L. I'm going Elijah Mitchell.
In full PPR. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I like Antonio Gibson coming back this week, so I don't think it's going to be a J.D. McKissick ceiling play this week because I think
Mitchell.
I think Gibson's healthy, so I think it's Mitchell.
I think Mitchell is the safer play.
And yes, it's crazy to play Emmanuel Sanders over DJ Moore. Don't do that. Don't be playing games. Don't do that, Uncle Stunkus, bro. I like the name, but don't do that.
Oh.
Don't do that.
Yeah, play DJ Moore.
Darnold is worrisome, but it's DJ Moore. You got to play DJ Moore.
DJ Moore balls. I mentioned this yesterday. For whatever reason, DJ Moore balls out in indoor games. And they're playing in a dome today.
Yep.
Start DJ Moore. He'll be fine.
Slim Reaper with the grit question. Getting into those gritty questions. Salt or sugar, which goes in? Hey, it depends on the day, bro. What you feeling? That sweet or that savory, bro? You gotta.
I don't know if I've ever done sugar and grits.
You gotta try it out.
I guess I gotta try it.
Try it out.
I'll give it a whirl at some point.
Khalid AB, coming back.
Positive
week 10.
update there. Positive update.
Good to hear. Dirty money. This week, pick 3. A.J. Brown, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, Terry McLaurin. Wow. Or Debo Samuel.
Damn.
Have PPR. 10 team. A.J. Brown, Diggs, and McLaurin. It's hard to sit Thielen, but if you're forced to pick
really
3 out of that group, Debo is a little bit banged up this week. I'm going Diggs, McLaurin, A.J. Brown. But that's a stacked wide receiver court, bro. Wow.
Trade 2 of those dudes for an anchor running back.
Yeah, if you need to. But, I mean, ooh. It's almost as good a
Loaded.
team as Kyle Nohe, who's got the question below. What's going on, bro?
Happy
Yeah, we
Halloween,
got the kicker question. The floor is yours.
The kicker question.
The floor is yours.
Problem. McPherson got swiped. Smart. That's a smart league mate you got there. Yeah, Jake Elliott is fine. I think the Lions are giving up solid production to the kicker position this year. They are the top 5. Is Greg Joseph available? Kyle Nohe, is Greg Joseph available? He would be the one dude I would say, and Greg Joseph's at home. Not that home road splits matter too much for me when it comes to kickers. I would think Elliott's got some built-in downside if you think the Lions are going to beat the Eagles this week. Because if the Eagles are playing catch-up, then they're going to be less likely taking field goal opportunities. See if Greg Joseph is available. If he's not, then I'm okay with riding with Elliott.
I'd consider Sebastian Janikowski.
And that's why nobody asks you kicker questions.
Exactly. Yeah, thanks for the question, Kyle Nohe. Logan, what's going on? Dynasty, Kamara, Fournette, Elijah Mitchell, Tyreek, CD, A.J. Brown. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. Who do I flex?
Kamara and Fournette, and then Tyreek and A.J. Brown.
And then who do you flex? CD or Elijah Mitchell? You're flexing CD, are you not?
CD.
Yep.
Yes. CD.
Yep.
Slim says TY is active. Is that confirmed?
I did not see that, but I've been streaming this whole time.
He's still questionable. Where'd you see that? I don't not believe you. But if he is playing, I think this maybe had been to a point about that Pittman versus Darrell Williams question. Yep. If he is playing, then
Darrell Williams. Yep.
But
hey, and Mario, we're glad we could help, bro. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
If you got any more questions, let us know. Balls be swinging. Yes.
Some of you guys crushed.
Yes, loving the names. Xavier, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. Uzi, what's going on, bro? Good to see you.
What's up, Xavier? What's up, Uzi?
Oh, Khalid. Yo, thank you for the super chat, bro. You didn't need to do that.
Really nice.
But thank you. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the support. Much appreciated. And you're awesome, bro.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Hope
yeah,
to see you
threw in the super chat. You threw in that question right before. Carter or Pollard? Because of Dallas without Dak.
Carter? 4? 20 touches?
Yeah. But to that point, they might go running back heavy since they know they can run the ball in Dallas with a bum quarterback / backup quarterback. It might be Pollard usage game. Are you still going with Michael Carter with the we know he's getting the work?
Yeah, it could be like Pollard. It could be like an A.J. Dillon situation from Thursday night, right? With the where he just gets more work.
Mm-hmm.
If it's full PPR, I'm definitely fine with Pollard over Carter. I do think Carter's locked into 20 touches today. That's all I'll say. Pollard, he's got the Zeke problem. No?
Yeah.
That's the only
That's
thing.
always going to be there. It's never going away unless he gets injured, and we're not predicting that. I mean, Carter's he's got the RB1 workload. It's just he plays for a terrible team and doesn't have the greatest matchup.
Vikings are a bottom matchup for
is it crazy I'm going Pollard?
I'm looking at.
I think I'm going Pollard and thinking I'm going Pollard and thinking it's going to be one of those ceiling games for Pollard.
You're
the floor play is Michael Carter, but I feel good about Pollard this week. Shoot me.
Short intermediate throws, either with a hobbled Dak or a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't hate the call. I would say Carter's a little bit safer, but there's more downside. Pollard could come through with a lot of catches. Maybe not a lot of catches, but like quite a few.
Floor play Carter, ceiling play Pollard. I'm sticking with that. Sticking with that. But thank you for the super chat, bro. Let's go back up to these questions up here. Where were we? We got to Dirty Money's question. Balls be swinging, yo, yeah.
Should I play Van over Herbert?
No.
Flex PPR. It is full PPR.
No. Herbert's been
gotta
getting
go
work.
Herbert.
Herbert's been getting
I think
PPR.
I think you gotta
passing
go
game
Herbert.
work. That's the
I
thing
know
I
it's a
was not
bad-
projecting for Herbert. It was the passing down work, and he's been
Where is
getting
that game?
passing down work.
Where is that game?
Now, to your point,
wanna say it's
yesterday we weren't advising play him last week, and
We're
he
at
had
home.
a
The
boom
Bears
week.
The Bears are at home.
So he could
Right.
be, just it couldn't the game script could not matter with him. He could just be productive, however long he's getting the majority of the touches.
And the game
Straight
script
up.
for Van could phase him out quickly.
Yep. I think it's Herbert.
Yeah, I'm good with
I think that's
Herbert.
the floor and the ceiling play.
I'm good with Herbert. I'm good with Herbert over Van.
Yep. Xavier Dubs, yeah, I saw you a few times below. You were asking if you got skipped or something. You did not. We just went and addressed the super chat question before we got to.
We're going. We're kind of. We are bouncing around a little bit. But I think we're on top of the chat as far as like top to bottom.
Yeah, but your questions: Perrine or Waddle at flex full PPR 12 man. I'm going Waddle.
I'm going Waddle as well.
Full PPR. I'm going Waddle.
PPR, it might be 50 yards. It might be
but
50.
We've seen
like
him,
he might get 50 yards, but he might be 8 catches.
We've seen him get 13 targets, 12 receptions, 48 yards. We've seen that from him. So as long as you're playing in full PPR, I mean, you can feel good about starting Waddle, even though he's not going to have that ceiling game. Yeah.
It's not a good matchup, but with Waddle, I
know
think
Waddle
can deliver a floor play.
I
think Waddle can deliver a floor play.
The matchup is good for Perrine, but I'd go Waddle there.
Yeah. This is a situation where between those two, this is a situation where I'm kind of ignoring the matchup. Waddle's the Dolphins wide receiver 1 right now.
Yeah. It's not even close.
He might see some Tre'Davious White, but again,
I expect Trey to
7 or
be
8
on
7 catches.
Devontae Parker some too.
Right, 7 or 8 catches. I don't know. That's just like what I have in my head for Waddle today. 7 or 8 catches.
Well, we'll see if that plays out, but I'd be inclined to agree. He also asks, is Young Hui a solid kicker stream this week?
Yeah, I mean, he's fine. They're in a dome, right? They're at home. It's a division game. Panthers are solid on defense, so that could force the Falcons offense to stall out 1 or 2 times. And he delivered last week. I think he had 12 fantasy last week. Koo did. So, yeah, I mean, he's fine. If there's not like a more obvious, if there's not a guy on waivers where it's like, oh my God, he's available. It's perfectly fine.
Yep. Not that you'd come to me for kicker questions, but yeah, go for it. Go for it. But yeah, thanks for your questions, bro. And if you have any more, you already know, throw them into the chat there. We'll get to them eventually. Samuel Contreras, what's going on? Antonio Gibson or Javonte Williams? I'm going Antonio Gibson. I don't know the format there. I'm going Gibson.
Gibson. I like Javonte. I do, but Gibson.
It's not that close for me. I'm going Gibson.
Gibson.
And same with the question below at Mimsy. Thanks for your question. Gibson or Gainwell full PPR? I'm going Gibson.
Gibson.
Yep.
I know Gainwell. The matchup looks good. The matchup is good for Gainwell. Game script should be in his favor. He should catch some passes. I think Gibson's got more upside. That's just the better player.
Agreed. Eddie, what's going on? Football. Yep. And Uzi, yo, what's going on, bro?
Football, yes, sir.
Zach Moss over Mike Davis this week? We think so.
I think so.
We think so.
Moss feels like he's more locked in to his role. Davis has been beaten out as far as I'm concerned by Patterson. I know Davis is still involved, but I would go Moss.
I'm going Moss.
Yeah, give me Moss.
Yep. Official McLovin, what's going on, bro? Eli or Judy? I think I'm going Eli Mitchell. Until the Judy situation kind of shakes itself out and we see what until we see that he's all the way healthy coming back from that high ankle sprain, because they are tricky injuries. We've seen it with Michael Thomas. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. I'm going Elijah Mitchell just because I know the workload's there. Until Jerry Judy shows that he's that PPR magnet again, target magnet that he was week 1 before the injury, I'm going Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm good with Mitchell. A little bit more locked into his role. Judy, the matchup couldn't be better, but it's his first game back. I'll go Mitchell.
And but thank you for your question, bro. Hope that helps.
Yeah.
Grind for fun streamer. Hey, thanks again for your super chat earlier. Michael Carter or Ernest Johnson. So that is a question there. He asked Michael Carter or Brandon Bolden. I said Michael Carter. You said Brandon Bolden. Are you going to Ernest Johnson?
Well, I said Bolden is a little bit more of an upside play, but I'm fine with rolling with Carter, like with his what I think is a 20 touch floor or 15 touch floor.
But are you no to Ernest?
No, with Chubb back, give me the guy who's more. Carter's the starter.
Yeah. I'm just. I want to.
Between those three, Carter is the starter.
I had mentioned the Ernest Johnson's stat line with Nick Chubb last season when he played. I want to get the exact number on that. Just to see if that
you're looking up.
Sways you. 8 rushes for 32 yards, 1 target. So that's the kind of usage you're looking at. Basically,
Carter.
For the Ernest Johnson is like 9-10 targets or 9-10 touches in the offense. So yeah, I'm going Carter. The Gone Network, chance it with Dak or make a swap. Make the swap now. What up, fellas? What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Who are your other options?
I think I'd make the swap now. I don't feel super comfy.
I don't feel great about Dak right now. Even if he plays, he's gonna be. He might be limited. He might be hobbled. I'm sure they could. They could give him a painkiller or whatever and inject him like with a painkiller or whatever, and adrenaline gets him through the game. Yeah. Sure, but like I don't think the Cowboys want to do that if they don't feel like they have to.
No, not with somebody who's coming back from an injury all off season and already
right. They're not gonna mess around with this.
Franchise QB, they don't want to mess with that again. So no, I think you swap them out for pretty much whoever you got within reason. Within reason. Uzi, non-PPR league, do I flex DJ Moore or Khalil Herbert? Is that the tier break?
Non-PPR?
Non-PPR?
That's tough. Moore. I like them both this week.
Yeah. Who's your whole lineup? What's your whole lineup look like?
I think Moore is upside. And Herbert is.
But let us know who you got in your other starting spots. Because, I'd be trying to find a way to start both of those guys this week. So depending on who you got in there, unless you got a stacked team. I think I would lean DJ Moore. I think I would, even though it's non-PPR, I think I would lean DJ Moore. I think. Yeah, if you want to get tricksy with it, go Khalil Herbert. But the smart play is to go DJ Moore. But let us know what the rest of your team looks like, bro.
Yeah.
Just because, again, I'd be trying to play both of those guys. But thanks for your question. Thanks for tuning in. Balls be swinging. Should I drop Watson for Agnew? Obvious question is yes, but what if he's traded and can play next week?
Is it a...
And then he says Marvin Jones. Is it Agnew or Marvin Jones? Or
no, this was when we were between Marvin Jones and Devontae Smith.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
A couple people saying Marvin Jones. I thought that might be the case. So the consensus seems Marvin Jones. I'm going to be a little contrarian and stick my guns and say I do prefer Devontae Smith over him. But
boom, could pay off.
Good. Should I drop Watson for Agnew? If it's a quarterback league, no. If it's a super flex and you don't love your QB2, if it's a super flex and you don't love your QB2, then hold Watson.
If it's not, then you can drop him for Agnew.
If it's a quarterback,
Agnew's been getting above a 50% snap share for the past 2 weeks, and he has back-to-back weeks of, I believe, 7 and 8 targets. So he's involved.
Absolutely.
Don't know who he is, but he's involved.
His roster ownership is gonna go way up before it's all said and done. This season.
I could have said the same thing about Khalif Raymond. We haven't seen the same thing from him. I don't know if it could be Jamal Agnew and Khalif Raymond are kind of the same in the same boat for me. But regardless, I think the original comment stands. If it's super flex, hold on to Woodson.
If it's super
Watson.
flex, hold Watson.
If it's not, then
if it's one
yeah,
quarterback,
sure.
you can drop
yeah,
him.
sure. And yeah, thanks for agreeing with me with Marvin Jones, but we'll see. Devontae Smith could absolutely be that guy this week and have the edge. Eddie, for real though, what happened to Mike Davis? I mean, he's Mike Davis.
Job taken by a kicker.
he's Mike Davis. He is a journeyman who had a really hot year out of necessity for a team that utilized him a lot.
We see this happen a
With an
lot
underrated
with these
quarterback.
middling veterans. You know, they have a good year and then you think they go on to greener pastures the following year, and then it's like it just doesn't happen.
And
These
he
situations
has a
always
role.
Feel like trap
It's just
plays.
it's not
he
a
does
very
have a role.
It's not a very enticing role.
It's not the clear. He's not a clear-cut starter.
Right, and he was a guy that, based on the metrics, you would have thought last season he almost led the league. I believe he led the league by a large margin in yards after contact. It was him and Derrick Henry. That was one of the stats I remember looking at the beginning of the beginning of the offseason. And people were expecting him to be able to replicate that in Atlanta, and that's just not the case. He's a backup running back. It's what he's been. He's a backup running back, and he's 28 years old. So, yeah. It's tough with Mike Davis, but, I mean, what were we expecting? I wasn't expecting a long-term option with him.
Some people had 4th round, 5th round ADP.
Yeah, it was getting a little bit out of control there, but, I mean, the smart money was never on Mike Davis.
Yeah. I mean, it looked too good to be true, and it was, I think. And Patterson emerged.
I mean, teams have shown that you don't need to run the ball to win in today's NFL.
You definitely you need to throw the ball.
Yeah,
away.
right. So yeah. It should have always
Patterson's a little bit more suitable in that role in that situation.
And we said it a couple of times. I remember we said it a couple of times. We had conversations, and I believe one of them was on a video or on a pod. That maybe Cordarrelle Patterson sees more work than we'd be thinking. We never saw.
Well, we thought it would be Wayne Gallman.
yeah, we both did.
We thought it would be Wayne Gallman.
And Wayne Gallman still could take Mike Davis's role. Let's be real. But let's move on there. But thank you for your question, Eddie. Yeah, Mike Davis just kind of stinks. Got to write it out. Ron Smith, Ryan or Wentz replacing Dak?
Oof.
You were pushing Wentz yesterday.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna say Wentz
against Tannehill.
Ryan is a little bit.
Tannehill.
Yeah, the Titans are giving up lots of production. They're not a good defense. To quarterbacks, they're giving up top 7 production. The Panthers are not. The Panthers are more middle of the pack. Ryan is probably better. Wentz offers more rushing upside.
Ryan has had a hot 3 games where he's really been clicking with everybody in his offense.
The Falcons' offense as a whole has been much better. There's no doubt. They're at home.
But I think
Wentz is on the road. Or is Wentz on the road?
The floor play, I guess, is Ryan, but the ceiling play is Wentz.
I literally just did this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, they're both at home. Wentz is also at home. I think I would say, whoa, we got breaking news.
What's up?
Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley is out due to a personal matter.
Ooh.
Holy hell, that's a big one. I'm going to repeat that. John, we might want to put that in the ticker if we can.
Yes, sir.
Falcons wide receiver.
I believe it refreshes with new news, but let me throw that in there anyway.
Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley is out. He is not playing today. So, Ron, actually, your question comes at the perfect time for us to answer.
Yeah.
The clear answer now is Wentz.
Yep.
clear answer now is Wentz.
All right.
We had a question earlier about starting Ridley. Pull Calvin Ridley out of your lineups. Get Calvin Ridley out of there.
And everybody who was questioning whether or not you should be starting Cordero Patterson this week,
you sure as hell need. Well, actually, Mike Davis is officially more viable too.
That is true. Do you want to revisit that question we had with Mike Davis up above?
It was Mike Davis versus Zach Moss.
You still going Moss?
I do think I think I go Moss. I do. I think I go Moss. I still think I go Moss. But you got to downgrade the entire Falcons offense. Well, maybe not. Well, Kyle Pitts is about to get another 15 target game.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley out of the game.
Kyle Pitts is absolutely worth it in DFS this week if you are worried about spending up for the number one tight end in DFS
plug him
this
in
week.
now before his price goes up.
Yep.
Man, what is going on with Cal? This is the second time in 3 weeks. Personal matter. I hope everything's fine. I hope everything's okay. Like, this might be like it's something where it's like his personal life or something like that. Hopefully everything's okay. But
right.
This is the second time in 3 games. Calvin Ridley out. Personal matter. So get him out of there. Downgrade all your Falcons outside of Kyle Pitts and Cordero Patterson. Ron, go with Wentz over Ryan. That's actually pretty clear now.
Yep. Agreed. But thank you for your question, bro. And let's continue, Ron. Xavier Dubs. Yeah, sorry about that. Well, we were moving a little bit slower today through the chat
we're
than
moving
usual.
a little.
But
we're moving a little. We're being methodical today.
Yeah, we're being a little bit more thorough with our takes. Sorry, it's taken a little bit longer.
But we do have some.
We did start off with some technical difficulties. So yeah, but
that's true.
Let's start running through these.
I got about another half hour in me.
McLevin, we went Mitchell there. You asked that question already. Todd Meebang, what's going on? You guys have any idea why Javante's projection went up so much?
I don't, because Melvin Gordon is not inactive. But I think I've seen that a couple times in the chat. Javante's projection went up. I mean, there could be a few factors here that are at play.
I mean, everybody could be in agreement with Nick that you start all of your Denver Broncos this week.
Yeah, you fire up your Broncos. Yahoo's in agreement, ESPN's in agreement, Sleeper's in agreement, all the platforms are in agreement. They're listening to us. No. I don't know why his projection went up, but obviously it's a good sign. Maybe did Javonte like sneakily leapfrog Melvin Gordon on the depth chart? I'm not. Also, Jamal Williams is a surprise inactive.
Oh wow,
what is going on? Okay, couple of updates here. Is in. T.Y. Hilton is in. He's going to play. So Wentz for sure over Matt Ryan, and Darrell Williams I think over Pittman is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Lions Jamal Williams is out. Damn, I was touting him as a good start today. DeAndre Swift is about to blow up.
Hawkinson's gonna have a good game too.
Should be, yeah. He's gonna get more. He's gonna get a little bit more.
Could be
maybe sees an extra look or two.
Yep.
Trent Williams is in for the 49ers. That's good for Elijah Mitchell.
Do you think we see Jamar Jefferson for the first time this season? He was a hot name at the beginning of the offseason, coming into the draft. Jamar Jefferson. Yeah, he in some rookie rankings, I saw him as high as third, fourth in the rankings before the draft. In the running back rankings. So take that what you will. Take that with I don't know. That's just
I don't think he's on the. I don't think he's on the streaming radar. No, he's got to do something first.
Fair.
He's got to do something first.
Just a little speculation. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know why Javante's projection went up, but he is a good play this week. So there's that.
You can confidently start him if you need him. If you don't have obvious plays, like I've seen like Antonio Gibson or Javonte. I think Gibson is an obvious play, but like if it's not something like that, then Williams is absolutely safe to fire up. But anyway.
Yep.
Calvin Ridley out, Jamal Williams out. Adjust accordingly. Let's
Khalid, we got to that question, and you're awesome, bro. Thanks again for your super chat. Dylan Horn, Tim Patrick or KJ Osborne going forward, or take a flyer on Curtis Samuel for wide receiver depth on the bench.
No, no to Curtis Samuel. I mean, he's just this feels like a lost season.
Yeah,
lots of injuries. Just it feels like he hasn't been close to playing recently.
Yep.
I would probably say, going forward, it's kind of a push between Patrick and Osborne. If Judy has any lingering issues with his ankle, then definitely Patrick.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
What's up, CXK?
What's going on, bro? PPR for my flex spot: Elijah Mitchell or Kadarius Toney this week, or Elijah Moore or Kadarius Toney this week. Maybe there you try and hold out for Toney, and then if he can't play, Toney, then it's Pringle or Slayton.
Yep.
Then pick up Pringle or Slayton.
Yeah. Pick up right. I would roll with Toney in that situation. Hope for the best. Now, Corey Davis is out for the Jets.
Okay.
But Crowder is in.
Does that change your the way you go on the Crowder question you had earlier?
I'll say Toney. CXK, you can fire Toney up, but he is questionable and it is Monday night. So just keep an eye on like a Darius Slayton or a Byron Pringle if you need to pivot.
Yeah, but Kadarius is a strong play this week if he plays.
If he plays.
Yep. Todd Meebane, been tuning in for the last 4 weeks. Hey, thanks, bro. Appreciate you tuning in.
That.
And thanks for appreciating the channel, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you tuning in, definitely. It's always fun to do these live streams, and
hopefully we've been helping more than we've been hurting people.
Yeah. Seems like we are. And when we do, call us out a little bit, we'll have fun a little bit with it.
Let us know if we for you.
Yeah.
We'll to be better.
And Savvy, stream McPherson or Koo? You're going McPherson over Koo, aren't you?
I'm going McPherson.
Yep.
I'm going McPherson. I think McPherson is I just think McPherson is like the kicker pickup of the year this year. I think he's good. I think the Bengals offense is approaching matchup-proof territory if they're not already there.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy the questions that surrounded this team moving into the season, and just
people were worried about the Burrow injury.
Yeah, they completely bucked the commentary on them. So
yeah. I'm very high on McPherson. And this week the Jets give up the most fantasy points to kickers. Like, they are number one in points allowed to kickers. So not only do I like McPherson in general, but the matchup is as good as it gets. I think the Bengals are going to be winning this game. I think that means they tack on field goals at the end to like extend their lead. McPherson.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm high on him.
Not that I know what I'm talking about with kickers, but yeah, I'm just gonna echo Nick and say McPherson.
I'm high on him today and rest of season.
Yep, and yeah, that was a good question, I guess. If you're just between the two,
because Koo was
if you're playing with kickers,
the kicker last year.
If you're playing with kickers, I mean, these are the important questions. I just advocate never playing with kickers. This is why I don't know anything about kickers, I just whatever. Samuel Contreras, you're welcome, bro. Marcus Brown, the Patriots are notorious for taking away the team's number one option. Usually this would mean Keenan Allen, but due to the way this year has panned out so far, do you think they'll focus on Mike Williams? I don't think they're that great at taking away the number one option anymore. They haven't that's that narrative. I mean, we haven't seen that play out this year. We didn't see that play out last year. I don't know if they have that. If that narrative really continued, it is relevant anymore. And I'm especially not advocating sitting either Mike Williams or Keenan.
Yeah, this is not like the Patriots defense of old. They're still solid. I'm not, could Mike Williams have a little bit more built-in downside? Maybe. But I'm not worried about him that much.
No, I'm not. I mean, the Patriots don't have a lockdown corner anymore. They don't have Stephon Gilmore anymore. Not that he played at all this season, but I mean, that's what you're kind of thinking with the Patriots. They've had Stephon Gilmore locking down their number one cornerback, or number one wide receiver that they've been facing for years. And they don't have the personnel back there to handle that anymore. I don't think they're that team anymore. I think a lot of the narratives that we have for the Patriots need to be flushed down the toilet now that he's playing with not Tom Brady. So yeah, I'm not running with that narrative. I'm staying away from that one, and I'm playing all my Chargers against the Patriots.
Oh dang, we got another super. Thank you, Callum.
Oh yo, from Canada. What's up, bro? Where in Canada you from, bro?
Oh, that's right. That's cool. That's very cool.
Let's get to his question, though. What's up, boys? 3-part question. Higbee or Fant, Gibson or Harris? And then thought on this parlay, Lions, Cowboys, 49ers, Seahawks, Titans. All right, first question. Higbee or Fant? Are you starting all your Broncos there and going Fant, or are you going Higbee?
I have been bullish on the Broncos this week. What is Houston giving up to tight ends? They're not as weak as maybe you would think against like wide receivers. They're giving up the most points to tight ends. I think I might go Higbee. I think I might say Higbee over safe today. Higbee's got a little bit more upside. The matchup is as good as it gets.
I would agree. I mean, I'm not advocating going away from Higbee. I know he hasn't exactly been what people were hoping this season, but he's not a bad option. He plays in a great offense.
Right.
So, but I'd be going Fant.
I'm sorry. Or you would go Fant. I would go Higbee.
You would go Higbee?
The matchup is as good as it gets. Houston's given up the most points to tight ends.
Do you think that the thing will necessitate putting up points, or do you just don't think it matters?
I think I'll roll with the even better matchup. I'll roll with the even like
15.6.
Fant has a good matchup.
Fantasy
Fant has
points.
a good matchup. Higbee has a better matchup.
Okay.
I'll go Higbee. Safe play. I think you can get away with a safe play. Fant is safe. Higbee, I think, has much more upside. Maybe not much more upside, but a little bit more upside.
Who's starting in your other running back slot? That would be my question.
Yeah.
You probably got a stud in there if you're not even throwing in. Yeah, but I'd go Gibson, even though Harris is not a bad swerve if you just want to go to the guy who's mostly healthy right now. Not that Gibson had practiced all this week too, so he looks healthy. I'd go Gibson. And thought on this parlay? What do you think, bro?
So the Lions, the last I checked, are underdogs at home against an Eagles team that is not that good. The fact that the Eagles are getting 3.5 on the road makes no sense to me, even against a winless team. So I like the Lions. I think the Cowboys are currently. I think the line switched to there. It's a 2.5 point. Minnesota's like a 2.5 point favorite. I think the Cowboys are a slightly better, but it all changes if Dak's not in. So I'm not sure about the Cowboys there. With the 49ers, I mean, they're obvious. They're on the road and they're getting 4. The 49ers are not that good. I don't know how I feel about the 49ers getting 4 on the road, but obviously the Bears have been instilled like zero confidence in anybody recently. So I don't mind the 49ers as a play there. The Seahawks getting 3.5 at home to Jacksonville, I think is fine, even though it is Geno Smith, but they are at home. I think that's okay. The Titans, I do think the Titans are the better team.
Yeah,
they're the better team than the Colts. They're 1 point. That's the last thing I saw. They're 3 or no, the Colts are 3. Fant's safe. Higbee's a little bit more upside. Harris has a great matchup, but Gibson. And then for the parlay, I like the Lions. I like the Seahawks, and I like the Titans. The Cowboys and 49ers are where it's gonna be. That's where you're either gonna win or lose. Those two. The 49ers getting 4 on the road in an early game, even against a not great Bears team, gives me some pause. I don't hate the Cowboys play, but there's significant downside if Dak doesn't go.
And I will say, I'm changing my mind. I'm changing my mind on Higbee versus Fant. I'm going Higbee because Alberto comes back and Jerry Judy comes back. So Fant's going to be playing with Teddy Bridgewater's going to be playing with the full deck there. So Fant's target share and general workload should go down a little bit with Alberto back into the equation and Jerry Judy soaking up targets. So I'm going Higbee there. But and I have no thoughts on the parlay because I can't parlay because I'm in Pennsylvania. But you're from Ontario, Callum?
New Jersey.
You're from Ontario. What's going on, bro? From Ontario.
That's pretty cool.
My parents used to live in Toronto, so I used to go up to Ontario quite a bit. And you got Zeke in your number one spot. So yeah.
So you're sticking with Zeke.
Yeah, but Zeke and AG are they're a good.
You'll be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Yeah, but thanks for your super chat. Thanks for your tuning in from Ontario. That's dope. Let's get back up to these other questions here. Where were we at? We finished Marcus Brown's question.
Oh, Xavier said drop P. Ryan for Marlon Mack. No.
Because we don't expect Marlon Mack to get traded, so keep Perine,
I think
you can play Perine this week.
I think the Marlon Mack hope is dying down because because of the Colts released Jordan Wilkins. I do think Mack stays with the Colts.
Yep.
But yeah. Todd also mentions Javonte Williams' projections went up a lot. Yeah, I don't know why. Melvin Gordon is active. Maybe a giggly leapfrog to the top of the depth chart without.
And maybe there's an injury to Washington that we just aren't aware of, and something, or maybe everybody just readjusted their rankings.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know why. Once. But unless you have multiple studs at running back, fire up Javonte.
Yeah,
plenty of confidence.
Yep. Kahunohi, what's going on, bro?
I love this.
Yeah, that's great, especially for today. I mean, Jamal Williams is out.
CD for D Swift. Oh, baby.
Great.
That's beautiful.
Leading running backs right now. Leading running backs in targets, receptions, and yards right now.
That's a league-winning move. CD's great. CD's awesome. Big fan of CD.
Bigger fan of Swift, though. Both of us.
This year, the best pass catching.
He's back. Kamara. Everybody thought coming out of the draft, the speculation was, D Swift could be Kamara, and then everybody was down on him after last year. People weren't expecting to see like mini Kamara, and he's basically been that through 7 games. So yeah, great pickup there.
Love that trade.
And if I remember correctly, your team was stacked, so your team should be even more stacked now.
League winner.
Yep. Xavier Dubs, what do you guys think of Penny? Will he get the starting job over Collins? No. I'm not putting much.
I held out hope for Penny for so long. I think it's not officially like the nail in the coffin. I mean, look, it was his first game back from injury. The last game he played, he mixed in a little bit
from the current injury, not the injury. He returned from the leg thing last year and played through spot starts in 3 games, spot work in 3 games.
Injury.
And
3 yards of carry.
Yeah, I'm all the way off Penny. All the way off Penny.
I can't do it.
He was a bad pick by that organization from the jump, and the injury, you're all the way off on an injury like that.
Yeah, he had like a 3rd round grade. They took him in the 1st round. It felt like a reach then. It looks like an awful move now.
Yep. Big Pun, what's going on? Good morning,
what's up, Big
fellas. Was on your matchup. Good luck on your matchup today. Thanks.
Good luck to everybody today.
Yep. Higgins, Pittman, D. Smith, Javonte Williams, D. Booker. I need 2 wide receivers and a flex. So I'm going
to flex. Well, your flex is Javonte Williams, I think.
Yeah.
And your wide receivers are Pittman and Devontae Smith.
Yeah, you're.
I gotta. Higgins has been decently solid, but Jamar Chase is the clear-cut far.
Higgins has disappointed me this year. I thought he was gonna.
He missed time due to injury, and then Jamar Chase reminded everybody that he's pretty good at the football.
I know T.Y.'s starting, so Pittman takes a little bit of a hit, but it's not enough for me to move Higgins over Pittman.
It's a phenomenal matchup. Yeah, it's a phenomenal matchup for Pittman.
And Devontae Smith should have a good matchup.
Sneaky.
I don't love the quarterback play he's been getting, but like you said, he's been the more consistent than we would have thought.
He's been more consistent given how bad the Eagles have looked the past couple of weeks, Devontae Smith has been better than maybe you might think without actually looking at the numbers. Pittman, Smith, Williams.
Yep. And Patterson happened, to be honest. Yeah, bro.
That was the Mike Davis. That was about Mike Davis. Yeah, Patterson did. Yeah.
Big pun, team 2. Woods, Judy, Herbert, Gaskin, Hawkinson, Booker. I need one wide receiver and a flex. So it's Woods and Herbert.
And Herbert. Who's your tight end that you're sitting Hawkinson?
You might want to play Hawkinson if Jamal Williams is sitting today. Unless you got like a bona fide top 3 option, you might be wanting to start Hawkinson today. So
Hawkinson or Khalil Herbert.
Let us know who your start. Woods, Herbert.
Woods is your wide receiver.
Yeah.
Woods is your wide receiver. Herbert or Hawkinson? That's so interesting.
Yeah.
If it's full
Herbert.
PPR, maybe Hawk.
I mean, it's hard to swerve off Herbert's RB1 workload right now.
Right.
For a Hawk, even though he should be catching more passes today. Just depends on who your tight end is. Who's your other tight end, bro? Let us know. Balls be swinging Pitt season. Yeah, you've been waiting for this for a while. You've been waiting for Pitt season for a minute, but I mean it's here.
It happened. It started week 6 and it hasn't looked back.
It's going to continue too, especially with Calvin Ridley being out.
Here. Oh, that's the Calvin Ridley update. Yeah, Ridley out, Jamal Williams out. So just accordingly.
We got a kicker question. Have a Randy Bullock lined up, considering Dustin Hopkins now with the Chargers?
I'm gonna ask everybody, is Evan McPherson available?
Or Young Hui?
If McPherson is not available, I'm fine with pivoting to Hopkins. Who's Bullock even on these days?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Tennessee.
I'm not the kicker guy, bro.
Let me see. What are the Colts doing against kickers? They're bottom 5 in kicker points allowed. Get off of Bullock. No Bullock this week. No to Bullock. Hopkins is fine, but Alejandro, I'll same deal. I ask everybody. If Evan McPherson is available, go get him. If he's not, fine pivot, but not Bullock this week.
Yep. But thanks for tuning in, Alejandro. Good
yes,
stuff.
Sir.
Elias Show, what's going on, bro? Who do I bench from these 4 players in standard? Amari Cooper, Alex Collins, Javonte Williams, or Emmanuel Sanders? Amari Cooper or Alex Collins, and I'm guessing I'm going Collins.
Cooper doesn't feel good this week, man. Cooper doesn't feel good this week, but Collins is questionable. It's a worse situation. Coop could still come through on a busted play for a score. Collins is questionable. Should get the most snaps and touches if he goes.
But how valuable are those snaps and touches? I mean,
what's Jacksonville giving up to running backs? It's time to take a gander. They're middle of the pack.
Yep.
They're middle of the pack, and so are the Vikings against wide receivers are also, I think, middle of the pack. Actually, they're closer.
The Jags are giving up 23.4 fantasy points to opposing running backs every week.
Collins has the better matchup, but it's enough of a tier break where I got to suck it up and play Cooper.
Yeah.
I would bench Collins.
Yep, I would too. Everybody else there is pretty much a strong start outside of Cooper, and you can't really sit Cooper over Collins. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Xavier Dubs, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. I forget you work the. You're in a different. Are you in a different time zone than us? Marcus Brown, I'm off to church. Thank you, bro. Hey, you're welcome, bro. And I hope your Sunday goes well. Thanks for. Y'all should start a fantasy podcast. That's what this is.
It's I guess this is kind of what it is.
yeah, we're gonna be expanding into more formats as this continues to grow. But thanks for your support, Marcus. You've been there since day one, so appreciate you. CXK,
appreciate that.
Hey, you're well. Thanks to you, bro.
Appreciate the kind words, buddy. For real.
Much appreciated. Danny Boy, you too. What's going on, bro?
Hopefully help.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming back. Claypool versus Emmanuel Sanders versus Kadarius Toney for second wide receiver, 12-team PPR. I mean, Claypool and Sanders aren't bad. I want to say
Claypool.
Claypool and Sanders aren't bad. I mean,
Sanders got a great matchup.
Kadarius, you got to wait until Monday, and he's questionable. So, I mean, based off of that, I have no problem starting Claypool and Sanders and just letting it rock.
But if you can only start one, which I think is the case.
Yeah.
Claypool is the floor play. Sanders has a little bit more upside because of the matchup, but Claypool is right now, I feel like, a little better. So I would go Claypool.
I'll go Claypool.
Given those options, Tony for me is third, just because it's Monday night and he's questionable, and we've seen him. We've already seen him exit a game after going in as questionable. So I would say Claypool. I think your order is exactly how I would have it: Claypool, Sanders, Tony.
Yep. And Chris, thank you for the super chat. Much
Chris,
appreciated.
Thanks for the super chat, man.
Much appreciated. Flex for full PPR. Tony was Slayton on the bench, ready to go if Tony sits. Good job. Crowder or Callaway? I would go with Tony and wait.
I think your first plan. I think your plan is solid. With
your contingency plan is great. So I would roll with the contingency plan there and roll with Tony and just see how it goes.
Yeah. The alternative, and because we've been getting Tony questions, all weekend. The alternative, if you don't want to play Slayton, is like a Byron Pringle, who has been operating as a regular in the Chiefs' offense. It doesn't necessarily directly correlate to production each and every week, but he's solid for like a 20-yard play every week, it seems like. So, Chris, I like your plan. I think that's sound. I'm just fine with leaving Tony in there.
Yep.
And you have Slayton, but I would just say. Pringle is also an option as an alternative to Tony. Obviously, in that situation, attached to the much better quarterback.
So if he has a choice between the two, who are we going with since he gave us the super? Let's dig deep into this. Are you going Slayton or Pringle?
And Pringle?
Yeah.
I really like Pringle. I do. I like Pringle just in general. I think he's pretty good. And his situation is much better. I feel like people are down on the Chiefs offense because they've been losing games. The Chiefs' offense is fine.
They can get right at a moment's notice, too. So.
They can get right almost immediately.
Yeah.
I would say Slayton's got a little bit more upside. And obviously, if Tony doesn't go, he should get plenty of opportunities. But as leaky as the Chiefs' defense is, could they key on Slayton if he's like the number one option? I think Sterling Shepard is expected to play. So maybe not necessarily. To that point, if Shepard plays, which I think he's questionable as well. He is.
Yep.
Listed questionable.
Yep.
Shepard led the Giants in targets in week 6, blah, 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 before getting injured in practice. Okay. Pringle is maybe more of a dart throw. Slayton wouldn't be seeing, the Chiefs' top corner. Not that that's a scary matchup. Anyway, Shepard will be drawing some attention himself. Chris, I'm okay with how you have it. Tony, and then Slayton is just fine to just fire up if Tony has to miss. Yep. I'm good with that.
And it's 12 o'clock. I don't know. You had some prior engagements. Do you have some time still?
We got some questions. We got some questions to get through.
All right.
I got some time.
Dope. All right, let's move on a little bit here. Hope that helps, Danny Boy. Thanks for your question. Khalid. Calvin Ridley is out, so boost to everybody else in that offense, and you might want to be sitting Matt Ryan if you have him anywhere.
Matt Ryan.
Justin Jarvis, TE position, Gesicki versus Buffalo, or Higbee versus Houston. I have a feeling I know where you're going with this.
I think look, Gesicki has been a target monster for Tua, and that should probably continue. What are the Bills doing against tight ends? I know, Houston is the matchup to exploit here.
Buffalo's
top 7 against tight ends.
A top defense against pretty much every position. Because they're shutting down the rushing and the receiving for the most part.
Higbee.
The only thing is, it could be like a 12-target Gesicki game because he's not gonna see obviously trade A at all. So Tua might be forcing it to Gesicki to get it downfield all game. So I will say that if I think I'm going the weird upside play because I think he might be the only one who really gets it going for the Dolphins is Gesicki.
And Waddle.
Yeah, but even more so because Waddle's gonna see some trade A, and I think Gesicki just escapes him all day because of the nature of his position.
Bills linebackers are good.
Very good. Very good.
I'm
Some of the
sticking
best
to
in the
Higbee.
league. You're sticking to
I'm
Higbee?
sticking to Higbee. It's the best matchup. It's the best matchup in the league. Houston is the worst by the numbers for fantasy against tight ends. I would go Higbee.
Yeah, smart play is Higbee. Smart play is Higbee. It's just hard to sit the way Gesicki's been playing.
Yeah, Gesicki's been a target hog. He's been a target monster. But like, if there's ever been recent, and we talked about this yesterday, John. If there's ever been a more lopsided matchup the past 2 years, it's between the Bills and the Dolphins.
Yeah, but they're gonna be playing digging me out of this hole all game, and it's gonna be going to Gesicki a lot because out of necessity.
Gesicki's a floor play with volume and downside. Higbee has more upside to come through with a score.
There we go.
He may not be needed in the second half of that game if the Rams have a big lead.
Gesicki might be needed all. It will be needed all game.
Higbee ceiling. Gesicki is a floor with downside.
But I think Gesicki has the highest upside. Yeah. If you're shooting for highest upside, I mean, the Rams aren't going to need Higbee. Dolphins are going to need
Higbee's chances of scoring. Higbee's chances of scoring
better matchup and all that. Yeah. And we're not giving you a definitive answer, Justin. But I guess
we're analyzing the situation.
You should feel confident starting Higbee.
I would feel confident starting Higbee.
Yeah. Big Dummy had to sit Lamar Jackson for the bye. Is there a better quarterback streamer than Daniel Jones? Depends who's on your wire, but
depends on who's on your wire. But I think Teddy Bridgewater is a solid stream this week. Washington's given up the most fantasy points to quarterbacks by far. Teddy's fine. Daniel Jones he's going to be without Saquon. He's going to be without Kenny Golladay. He might have Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard, which would obviously help. And the game script is surely in his favor because he's on the road against one of the best offenses in the NFL. And he's got rushing upside. So I don't mind Daniel Jones this week. I don't. Teddy Bridgewater has the best matchup by the numbers for quarterbacks this week. So that's all I'll say. But I think Daniel Jones is just fine as well. I do. I'm not going to so strongly advocate Daniel Jones for Teddy Bridgewater. That's not what I'm saying. Teddy's got the burn away best matchup. But Daniel Jones has a good matchup in his own right. The Chiefs' defense is not scary at any level. They're getting no pass rush. Their secondary is not that good. So Daniel Jones is fine, and obviously he's got rushing upside, and more rushing upside than Teddy Bridgewater does. So I'm fine with Daniel Jones as a streamer. It might feel like pulling teeth. He might fumble the ball a couple of times. That's Daniel Jones's bread and butter is fumbling 1 to 2 times a game.
Yeah, if you're chasing the analytics, though, 27.2 fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks, and the next best team is Kansas City Chiefs with 24.9, so it's a full 2.3 fantasy points over the next best team in the league, or the next worst team in the league, really. So yeah, I mean, 27.2 on average to opposing quarterbacks. So yeah, whoever's playing Washington is a great stream. But it's not a bad move to start Daniel Jones. But we got another question here from Sam Schnall. Sam Schnall is joining us. What's going on, Sam?
What's up, Sam?
It's popping, bro. Dire situation will be the judge of that. Come on now. Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley bailed on a fiance's team. I have Marquez Callaway or Darnell Mooney, or should I look for the waiver wire? My choices are KJ Osborne or Jamison Crowder, or if I look to TE, CJ Uzoma, what's the move?
I think the move's Callaway.
You don't feel good about it. Is that really Is that really all that's left on the waiver wire?
I think the move. I mean, I think the move is Callaway. I do. I just the game script is good. The Bucs are giving up. Bucs secondary is a mess. The Bucs secondary is a mess. 2 opposing wide receivers. I think the Bucs are still in the top 10.
They're just outside. But they're giving up 30.6 fantasy points to opposing running backs through 7 games.
Well, according to the chart, this can't be right. They're not bottom. They're not a bottom 5.
No, they're middle of the pack. They're middle of the pack.
Yeah. Callaway is
towards the bottom end of the middle of the pack, but they're the middle of the pack.
Callaway is pulling teeth, but there's no Michael Thomas this week. The Saints are gonna have to throw. You have to assume the Bucs are gonna score points. Where is that game? that in New Orleans or is that in Tampa? It's in New Orleans. So I feel better about Callaway based on that. I always feel better about role players playing at home. I would say Callaway.
I mean, is there a Russell Cage or like, I mean, and if Ridley's out, is there? I'm looking for anybody else besides
Gage
Callaway. I don't like
Gage
Mooney, and neither of Osborne or Crowder are starts over Callaway because of the quarterback situation for the Jets right now.
Gage is the next best option if Gage is available. If he's not,
I guess I'd go Callaway because he's the number one there, and technically he's got the shootout matchup. But I don't feel great about it.
Sam, I'm in. If Russell Gage is out there, then that's fine because the Falcons have been putting it together a little bit on offense recently. So Gage obviously, steps right into a bona fide starting role for this week. So if Gage is there, then Gage. If he's not, then Callaway.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's what I would do.
I'd agree with that. But thanks for the question, bro. Thanks for tuning in. You already know.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I'll hit you up after
Hopefully,
I'll hit you up after the stream,
helps.
dude. Elias Scholl, as a European new to football, what team should I be rooting for? Oh, yo, all right.
Okay.
Well, where in Europe? Where in Europe you from, bro?
Yeah, let us know where. That's awesome.
And what brought you to football? Like, I really want to know what sparked your interest in the sport as a European. You don't often see that, so that's cool, and we're glad you're joining us. Yeah.
Attend a London game by chance?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe.
Something like that.
I mean, it's tough. Like, obviously you got a lot of teams to choose from. It kind of it depends. I would say like a lot of that depends on your personality a little bit. Do you want to pick a team that maybe they're good now? You can root for they're good right out of the gate. Do you like, is it
I mean, the good young teams right now are the Bills, the Chiefs. For a long time, everybody coming into football, it seemed like they were New England Patriots fans just because that was like the one team that they knew. It's like people going into to football overseas were just like, but I know Barca's good, so they just default to get Barca as a watching international football. That's kind of like the New England Patriots over the last few years. I'd be looking for a young up and coming team. Or
do you like a team with a good offense or a good defense? Like, do you like seeing points get scored, or do you like defensive struggles? Like, everybody's got their preferences.
I'm biased, man, but I would say, be a Bills fan. They're fun right now. Bills Mafia is out there.
Of course you're throwing out the Bills.
Yeah, bro. What's wrong?
I mean,
are you gonna throw out the Eagles right now? Come on.
No. Don't be an Eagles fan. It's all pain.
But other fun teams right now are the Bucs are fun to watch right now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Bucs
really fun to watch right now.
Yeah. I mean,
Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, really fun team to watch right now. Really fun team to watch right now.
If you want to pick a West Coast team, the Chargers are really good. Mm-hmm. They're young and up and coming.
Right. I'd say pick one of those. Go. So you shouldn't have to go through a ton of misery with them. Yeah, but it's cool that you're tuning into this as somebody as a European watching American football. It's dope. Danny boy, you
got breaking news.
Ooh, what's up?
This I think somebody did put this in the chat. So thanks for the assist. Balls be swinging. Did see it now? Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray sprained his ankle on the final drive of the game on Thursday.
Oof.
1 to 2 week injury.
Okay.
So adjust accordingly. Obviously, the Cardinals already played, so it's not impacting you this week. But for the next 1 to 2 weeks, Kyler Murray looks like he could be missing a game or two.
James Conner continues to just.
Good God.
He's never going away.
Sell high.
He's never going
Sell
away.
High.
He's never going away.
I'm doubling down. Sell high. I'm doubling down.
Yeah, we were both sell James Conner for pretty much all of the entire beginning of the season, and he's just continued to say
he's still popping. I know.
Yeah,
whatever.
But we're still doubling down.
You can get an even better player for him.
Yeah, Yeah. But thanks for your question, Elias. Hope that helped.
Thanks for the interest.
Yeah. Danny Boy YouTube, Emmanuel Sanders, Chase
we
Claypool,
got
Orchidarius
this one.
Tony. We got to that one.
Claypool 1, Sanders 2, Tony.
And Big Pun, your TE's Kelsey.
3.
So you got Hawk and
that was the
Kelsey, I believe.
Hockenson versus Khalil Herbert.
Right. I'm still going Khalil.
I would go Herbert. Yeah,
Yep.
I would go Herbert. Yeah.
And
Xavier, appreciate the support,
appreciate
man.
it. Appreciate it. The algorithms are always funny, and I'm sure that our spotty internet connection isn't helping right now, but
they get a little wacky.
yeah. Big dummy. David Johnson or Khalil Herbert at flex. I'm going Khalil Herbert all day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think David Johnson could come through today, but give me Herbert.
Yep.
Give me Herbert. It's a tougher matchup, but he crushed a tougher matchup last week too.
And Chris Pooh, what's going on? Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for putting the question in the chat. Thanks for thanks for the super chat too.
Hopefully that helped.
Callum Roger, thanks for your super chat earlier as well. Just sent a trade for Kelsey for Fanton Gibson. Gave up Fanton Gibson.
You gave Fanton Gibson and got Kelsey.
Yeah. It's giving up a lot, but you got the TE1. Yeah, you're giving up a lot.
The tight end one. So
sucks giving up Gibson,
sure.
but
I hope your running backs. Yeah, I hope the running backs are solid, but Kelsey's a difference maker.
Yep.
So yeah,
I don't hate that.
You're getting an anchor. You're getting an anchor.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
That's an upgrade, and depending on who you got at your running backs, you shouldn't see much of a fall off there for your running back production, even though you're shipping out Gibson. So, solid trade. What's up, dude? You guys worried about Mike Evans this week? Absolutely not. Yeah, I know the narrative is Marcus Lattimore shuts him down every matchup they play against each other, but with no AB,
he's gotten scores against him.
Right, with no AB, Mike Evans has been matchup proof this week. I know Gronk comes back, but like you said, there's a chance that Gronk plays on a pitch count. Maybe a little bit. Yeah. You don't sit Mike Evans even if you have Claypool.
I would play Mike Evans. I know. Marshawn Lattimore is awesome.
Yeah.
He's very good. He has gotten the best of Mike Evans in the past, but that's the past. Give me Mike Evans.
Yep. Tom Brady, best passing quarterback in the league right now. So
yeah, most touchdowns, most touchdown passes. Yeah. In the league right now. A lot of
that's going to Mike Evans. So keep rolling him out. Khalid, where in PA you from, bro? That's dope.
Oh yeah. And Callum said he's in Ontario, and everyone in Ontario is a Bills fan. So there you go.
Yeah. There was a joke I had with our good friend Mike Gelb. When the Bills were playing games in Toronto, he would make fun of me being a Bills fan back when we had Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback and call us the Toronto Mooses. I didn't enjoy it very much at the time, but
there you go.
I can laugh about it now. But I love Ontario. Love Toronto. It's one of the coolest cities I've ever gotten the chance to spend some time in.
I've never been. I'll have to.
Oh man, it's fun.
At some point, somehow.
It's fun.
All right, I got a few more questions, and then I got to bounce.
All right. Thanks for sticking it out this long. Trillo G20, Jamal Agnew, Russell Gage, Salvon Ahmed, Philip Lindsay are on the wire. Would you drop Robbie Anderson and Nyheim Hines? Would you Robbie Anderson and Nyheim Hines, and which two would you pick up? Yeah, I think it's drop. I'd drop Robbie Anderson.
At least for this week, you can pick up Gage and probably just plug him in.
Yep. I'm not super high on Ahmed or Lindsay. Ahmed's a 3-week.
Nyheim Hines.
Ahmed's a 3-week play and really only a 2-week play because you're not playing him this week against the Bills. And Lindsay, I want to see how that Texans situation really shakes itself out with the running backs before I drop somebody and pick him up.
Not a hold.
Yep.
But you could start Gage this week if you wanted to, so that's fine. Gage for Anderson.
I would agree. Leatis Tremad, what's going on, bro? Thanks for joining us again. Since Ridley is out, half PPR league, Darrell Williams or Gage, flex Waddle or Cooks, wide receiver 2 or keep Williams in the flex. Pick one between Waddle, Cooks, or Gage. Half PPR, Waddle or Gage, or Williams or Gage.
Keep Williams. Yep. I think you keep Williams in there. I think Gage gets a big boost without Ridley. Cooks has downside this week because he's going to see Jalen Ramsey. Waddle has downside
is
this
Ramsey
week because
playing. I know he was sick. Is he?
He was questionable. I haven't seen an update.
Me neither.
Or keep Williams in the flex and pick. Yes, keep Williams in the flex, and then it's a matter of like one of those three. It's a crapshoot, to be honest. It's a crapshoot between those three. I think Waddle is the safest bet for some volume. I think Gage steps into the most clear, or a clear role. Cook is probably the best of the three, but maybe has the worst matchup.
But he's the only guy there, and we've seen good offenses like take him out of the equation completely because he's the only guy there over the past really 4 weeks, even though he's continued to get the air yards. I think that order: Waddle, Cooks, Gage. Yeah,
but it's close. It's like 1A, 1B, 1C. It's not like 1, 2, 3. But I would lean Waddle.
I'd say Waddle's the floor play. Cooks is the ceiling play.
Right. Age is somewhere in between.
Right.
I would say Williams and Waddle.
Yeah.
I would say Williams and Waddle.
Yeah. And no worries about missing the punctuation, bro. It's all good.
No, we got
it. It's all good. Rohan Bahan says Seals Jones or Patty Fryermuth. I'm going Seals Jones. He's just continued to do it. I know Patty Fryermuth is a hot start because Ebron is out, but Ebron has gotten like 3 targets every game this year. So we're expecting 3 more targets on to Patty Fryermuth's workload. And that might make him a TE1, but Seals Jones has been doing it for a few weeks, and nothing in their offense is leading me to believe they're going to be going away from the tight end as their number 2 option. And Seals Jones. Yep. Jason Fewer, happy football, bro. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, sir. Happy football Sunday.
Nick Rizzo, I have 2 spots and 3 options. Kadarius Toney, who may not play, Claypool, and Waddle. Please help. Thank you. I mean, Claypool and Waddle aren't bad starts there. It's hard you can't wait until Toney plays because late window. So I think I'd roll with Claypool and Waddle.
If Toney can't go, you're having to play Darius Slayton over Claypool and Waddle. So
I don't like that. Yeah, I'd stick with Claypool and Waddle.
Toney is enticing, man, and in most scenarios, you're finding a way at this point to get him into your lineup. But Monday night, questionable. Already had to exit a game.
Yep.
When he entered that game.
All right, balls be swinging. Yeah, good luck to you too, bro.
Yeah, but everybody, good luck in your matchups. Hopefully most of them.
Yep.
We figured it out.
Yep. Hope that helps. Will Brown, what's going on, bro?
What's up, Will?
I wish I could watch football with you and Nick today. Gotta pivot off Ridley this morning. Claypool, Shepard, or Toney?
Claypool? I think Claypool. I mean,
Shepard and Toney.
We just said Claypool over Toney.
Yeah.
Or for Nick. So
the fact that Shepard and Toney are both questionable, it's not like if one plays, you have the other one to pivot off of. They could just both not play. So yeah, it's Claypool.
Is Claypool banged up? Does he have any type of injury?
I don't believe so.
No, he doesn't. He does not have an injury designation. Oh, he did at the beginning of the week. He was limited due to a hamstring injury, but he was upgraded to full by Thursday as far as full practice. Claypool. I would go Claypool. It could be ugly. He could catch 3 balls because he gets on 10 targets because Roethlisberger's arm is a noodle at this point. But I would go Claypool.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I would go Claypool.
But I hope you lose your matchups this week, Will. You're welcome.
Oh, that's rude. That's rude.
What's going on, B3 Solo?
What's up, man?
Big dummy. Oops to Ernest Johnson for the Browns or Khalil Herbert. I'm going
definitely Herbert. Definitely Herbert.
Yep.
Ernest is relegated to a backup role this week with Chubb.
Yeah, sorry, we thought you meant David, but same choice. Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert. More definitively Herbert.
And Elias, you had told us that you were from Austria in other streams. It's just I forgot that.
Elias and Iron Never Lies is also from Austria.
Or maybe that's where it was. Okay, word. We got a couple of fans from Austria. That's dope. Yo, Zurich.
That's pretty damn cool.
I believe Zurich is in Austria. Is it not? Isn't?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great.
It's not the capital. That's Bern, I think.
Yeah, but it's a great great
little
city.
Geography knowledge for you. Dropping on this Sunday morning.
Really enjoyed.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
I was there, but thanks for tuning in and be a.
Appreciate the support.
And you live in Austria, so you're used to rooting for an underdog in soccer. So you want an underdog in fantasy.
Or an
underdog in football.
So not the Chiefs.
Not the Chiefs. No, not the Bucks.
Yeah. If you want a good team now, who's not going to be favored going into the playoffs, like as far as when it's all said and done, yeah, like the Bills or the Ravens, they're fine.
And the Bills have been a bad team for like the past 25
They've been
years.
Bad for a while.
So if you were
Allen.
so if you're rooting for the underdog who has a chance to like flip their narrative, I'd go Bills, but I am biased. But yeah, ultimate underdogs. Notorious TVG says are the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, if they can put it together, they're like if you're rooting for blah blah blah. If you're okay with rooting for a bad team this year, I mean, they could turn it around. They could. I mean, if I was to bet on one rookie quarterback to turn it around, I would bet on Fields. Outside of
Lawrence. Over the field. Yeah. Got him. But yeah. Maybe you go with the Jags if you're new to football. Do you go with Jags as your squad? Just roll with the number one pick.
Meyer, then sure. But until then, no.
Yeah. But yeah, good luck with your matchups too, Elias. And
yeah, good luck, and and everybody.
Yep, and Trilogy, hey, appreciate you tuning into the chat. Notorious TBG,
and it's closer between Waddle and Cooper.
Yeah,
Lamb
but I would go Lamb for sure.
Lamb has to play.
Yeah, and like Nick said, he might be their wide receiver one moving forward. Lamb for the rest of the season.
I think he like definitively is.
There you go.
I don't hate Waddle over Cooper. I think Cooper's got some more downside this week. If you want, Lamb has to be in, but if you want to pivot off of Cooper with no Dak, I'm fine playing Waddle. I'm fine with that.
Yep. Nick Rizzo, hey, I love Tony too. 13 targets, 10 receptions.
He also said the Chargers are a good. The Chargers are a good underdog team as well.
Yeah, they are.
They've been snake bitten by injuries and like bad, like really weird, wonky end of game results over the past few years.
And for the longest time, Phillip Rivers was like one of the best quarterbacks in the league who could just never get to the Super Bowl.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So yeah, the Chargers are a good bet. They did just move. So right, they did lose. They lost a whole bunch of their fan base, but yeah, you could go in
for fans.
You could go
Definitely
in on
looking for fans.
The Chargers, they're a fun team to watch right now.
Chargers are a good one. Chargers are good as well.
Yep.
Chargers are a good team to latch onto as well. Herbert's a great young quarterback.
Yeah, he is. Nick, how do you feel about
what are my thoughts on Felton now? Yeah, so he didn't get a ton of work Thursday without Kareem Hunt or Chubb in the lineup. I mean, he's like a gadget player at this point. Got to lower expectations. Moving forward, I mean, can't expect too much. Does he get 2 or 3 catches today, especially with Kareem Hunt still set to miss a little bit more time? Like, sure, maybe. But yeah, might have been off the mark on that one a little bit. He's not.
Yeah, and that was with Odell out and Jarvis out and DPJ out, and Felton still couldn't break in and do anything in the pass game.
Yeah, he got snaps, but he didn't turn it into anything.
Right. So like with all those pieces not playing on offense, you would expect Felton as a wide receiver coming into the NFL who was converted to running back to get some work, but he didn't get any. Despite the fact that they were down their top 3 wide receivers. So I'm very much tempering my expectations on Felton long term. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a guy. He's not a must hold.
Yeah.
Not a must hold.
Xavier Dubs dropped Young Hui for McPherson.
McPherson.
There you go.
Feel good about him today.
The stream skipped your question. Oh snap! Did you go? Oh no, we got that one. Collins or Penny? We went Collins.
Yeah, slight edge to Collins. It doesn't feel great. I just am not sure if it's ever going to happen for Penny.
And Big Dummy, thank you, bro.
Thanks, Big Dummy. Appreciate
you. Appreciate
that so much. We are at the end of questions. I think this is a good time for me to bounce out.
I'll
John,
stick around for the next 30 minutes and keep answering questions with everybody that's still here.
Cool.
But yeah, get out of here, bro.
Everybody.
Enjoy.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Enjoy football, Nick.
Yeah, you too. Everybody enjoy football. Everybody, hopefully you win your matchups. Hopefully our advice was helpful. I'll see you Tuesday for waivers and anything else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, John, thanks for holding down the fort. Good luck, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Peace, Nick. Tell Will I said what's up. All right. See if I got my video doubled here. Let me see if I can turn that off. There we go. All right. Mitchell Benkowski, Allen Robinson, Dan Arnold, or Elijah Moore in my last flex spot, half PPR. TE premium. Okay. All right. It's tough, man. I think it's between Dan Arnold and Allen Robinson, and I don't think I'm willing to start Elijah Moore quite yet. And the fact that it's TE Preem in your last flex spot, I think I'm going Dan Arnold. And I never thought I'd be saying that at the beginning of the season. Again, never thought I'd be where I am on Allen Robinson. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm going Dan Arnold there. And I never thought I'd say that. But Dan Arnold over Allen Robinson in your flex spot, considering it's TE Premium. If it wasn't TE Premium, that might be the deciding factor for me. But yeah, you got any other questions for us? And Jason Fiore, yeah, Godspeed to Nick. But come on, y'all. I know you got some more questions for me. Hit me up. Hit me up. What do you guys think is? Do you guys think that Allen Robinson is gonna have a re-emergence over the next few games? Do you think that he comes back? I mean, he was the wide receiver 12 last year, and the year before that with Mitchell Trubisky and Andy Dalton, or not Andy Dalton. Who else was playing quarterback for him? Nick Foles. Yeah, it's crazy what's happened to Allen Robinson. The fall off there has it's kind of unprecedented. It wasn't that wasn't one that I saw coming. Wasn't one that I saw coming, but I didn't see Khalil Herbert happening either. Ashton Doolin, take for a dynasty league. I pride myself on knowing the majority of players in the NFL, but I do not know who Ashton Doolin is. I have to look that up. Ashton Doolin. What position does he play? Does anybody else in the chat know who Ashton Doolin is? Ashton Doolin. Hold on a sec. Ashton. Wide receiver for Indianapolis. 24 years old, 6'1", 215 pounds, 2 years of experience. And last week he got work as the third wide receiver with both Hilton and Paris out. But I've never heard of this guy. I mean, sure, he's a deep stash. He got 63% of the snaps last week against San Fran, but he caught 2 of 4 targets. And it doesn't look like he put up any yards on them. It looks like he's more of a kick returner. I don't know if I'm willing to go all in on Ashton Doolin. I don't think. Again, I kind of pride myself on knowing a lot of the names in the NFL, even the little known guys. But I like Ashton Doolin. No, I don't think that Ashton Doolin is a guy that I'd be looking at in Dynasty. Sorry. One guy that I was looking at earlier in the season on Indianapolis was Michael Stracken. So I know he hasn't gotten a ton of work, but that's the guy that I was looking at at the beginning of the season. Is there anybody else out there? Let me know who else is on your wire, Mitchell. Let me know who else is on your wire. The Gone Network, Fields needs to grow. Yeah, I'm with you there. Fields needs to grow. And that he needs needs a better offensive scheme, better head coach, because Matt Nagy ain't getting it done. It's clear that Matt Nagy is part of the problem there. Notorious TBG, how do you guys feel about Pat Freiermuth? Ebron out this week. I have Schultz worth stashing and stashing Patty. I mean, if you're not playing him this week, in a week that Ebron is out, unless the Ebron absence is longer than one game, then I'm not going out and getting Pat Freiermuth to have him on my bench as a depth tight end for 1 week. You have Schultz. I know that we're not really trusting anybody in Dallas right now with the quarterback situation, but I think I'm going Dalton or I'm going Schultz over Freiermuth. Yeah, Mitchell. I got A-Rob and for Conklin and a third, so he's fallen. Wow. I'm gonna try to throw that out in my league to see if I can get that for A-Rob, because despite how far he's fallen, I do have I do have high hopes for him within the next few seasons. So in Dynasty, he might be a target for me. He's only 27 right now, and depending on his landing spot, he should go right back up and be a threat to be a wide receiver 1 weekly once he's on a different offense. I don't think the problem is A-Rob. I think the problem is that offense. So that's a great trade, bro, if you're in a Dynasty league long term. So, yeah, I like that a lot. Jason Fewer, what youngsters are on your Dynasty team? Who are you rooting for? How big is your roster and taxi squad? It depends what kind of team you're looking at. I mean, if you're looking at one of my contenders, I don't have a ton of youngsters on my team. I fill out my contender squads with veterans because they're more likely to be able to be spot starts for you on a weekly basis. And I tend to look at my Dynasty squads as 3-year windows there. I don't project like 8 years out. I think that's a little crazy. I try to take it 3 years at a time, and when you're looking down the road, in my rebuilding squads, some guys that I have in my rebuilding squads, I'm staying away from running backs altogether because I don't want to waste prime running back years on a team where I'm trying to lose out, and I'm just trying to churn guys. The running backs are the first players that I'm looking to get rid of on a rebuilding squad. But as such, I'm looking for wide receivers, tight ends if it's tight end premium, quarterbacks if it's super flex. Some wide receiver. I mean, I really like Rashad Bateman if you can go out and trade for him. Some youngsters that might be on your wire. I mean, at tight end, some high upside guys are like Tyree Jackson. Now that Zach Ertz is gone, he's 23. It's basically it's Logan Thomas and a 23-year-old body out there for Tyree Jackson. He's on IR right now, so you can throw him into your IR spot. That's a good bet at tight end. Wide receiver, it's not Ashton Doolin. Sorry. It's not Ashton Doolin. Let me think on that a little bit, and let's get to some more of these questions. And then once I get down to the bottom again, I'll start throwing out some more dynasty wide receivers, dynasty players that I'm looking at. But that's a good question, and that's probably going to be a video that we do something on, Jason. So, all right, Ashton Doolin, small school guy with the Colts. Okay, been getting snaps for them, yeah. And collegiate from Harrisburg. All right, what's up, bro? I'm in Philly right now, and all right, Ashton Doolin's testing is off the charts. Maybe this is a guy that I got to look at. Maybe this is a guy that I got to look at, but he has been completely off my radar. So I'll check him out, and maybe I'll get back to you next stream. Josh W., do you like mayonnaise? I mean, depends with what. You know, I don't not like mayonnaise. I think mayonnaise gets a little bit of a bad rep. It has its uses. I am one of those weirdos who sometimes has mayo with their french fries. I am one of those guys. Uh, Mitchell, if Ashton Doolin goes off today, remember this: I have 15 bench spots. Hey, if you have 15 bench spots and you got an extra spot, pick him up. But I've never heard of him, so if he goes off, I guess I got to do my research. You know what I mean? It's not something that I'm projecting, especially with Ty looking like he is gonna play. Josh W, how do you guys like Darius Slayton this week? Do you like him or Marvin Jones Jr. this week? I like Marvin Jones over Darius Slayton, because Darius Slayton's success really hinges on whether or not Shepard is playing and Tony is playing. If both of them are not playing, then Slayton should see a bump in his workload and a bump in his overall touches by the end of the day. But there's a good chance that Shepard plays. There's a good chance that Tony plays. Both are questionable right now, in which case Slayton's an afterthought. So I would much rather play Marvin Jones, because Marvin Jones, I don't see him ever being an afterthought. Don't see him ever being an afterthought. And yeah, Mitchell, I believe that A-Rob is definitely a buy in Dynasty. One of my friends just put Allen Robinson on the trade block, and I haven't hit him up for a trade yet, but it's definitely something that I'm thinking of, even though I'm a rebuilding squad and I shouldn't be going out and buying 29-year-old wide receivers. It just might be a situation where the value on him is going to be so good because the consensus on him right now is so low that I can get him for something like a Conklin and a third. I don't know if I'm going to get him for that in my league, but I am going to try. Xavier Dubs, should I drop Perrine for Freiermuth? I have Ertz with Murray having a possible ankle sprain. I think it could be beneficial. I think it could be beneficial, and I won't play Perrine. Tell me after this bye week. Until after this bye week. Okay. If you won't play Perrine until after his bye week, and you're worried about Ertz for this and next week, and Freiermuth is your play for this week, and you're not playing Perrine this week, then yeah, if you're trying to win your league, if you're trying to win your matchup, do what you got to do to win your matchup. If Perrine isn't going to help you, but Freiermuth is, sure. Tight ends can be quarterback proof in that it doesn't matter if Murray's playing or not. The backup might be liable to use Ertz in the short and intermediate passing game out of necessity. But I would still go Freiermuth. I think I would. If Murray's not playing, I think the play is to drop Perrine for Freiermuth, and that's okay. Especially since you're not going to be playing Perrine until after his bye week. So, Mitchell, you say that Slayton might be a play if Tony is out, but he looks like he's going to play. I'd go Marvin Jones. Yeah, I would too. Agreed. Scriv, do I start Dak or Burrow? Help. I think, you play Burrow this week. Dak is questionable. Even if he plays, he's not going to be at full strength. And it's, you don't want to play that game. Burrow's been a QB1 all year. So I would go Burrow. But thanks for your question. Jason Fewer, maybe a better question is, what did your dynasty draft look like this year? How many rounds is your rookie draft? Mine has 5 rounds, 10-man league. I was in a couple. The dynasty league that I pay attention to the most went 4 rounds, 12-team league. And guys that I ended up with, I ended up in a contender league. I traded away my first round pick, so I didn't have one. But in the second, I picked up Justin Fields in a 1 QB. In the third round, I picked up Kadarius Toney, so that was a good pickup. And I ended up swapping him out for Cam Akers after the Cam Akers injury, so we'll see how that goes. That was a little bit of a dart throw there. But yeah, what about yours, bro? Who did you pick up in your dynasty drafts this year, Jason? Let me know. And yeah, bro, I could talk dynasty all day. One thing that we might start doing is once we start rolling out more live streams, we might have a dynasty specific live stream at some point throughout the week, maybe in the off season. I think that lends itself more to the off season because there isn't, start sit or waiver wire news every week. So we might be doing a dynasty segment for sure. So yeah, I love dynasty. Yeah, and Khalid, I agree. Start Burrow. B3 Solo, what happened to Ayuk this season, bro? I don't know. Combination of being in the doghouse and bad quarterback play, and the emergence of Debo. I really think it's a three-pronged situation for Ayuk. So it's disappointing. He's actually a buy for me in Dynasty, Ayuk, because I believe he's 23. We've seen him be a wide receiver 1 in fantasy for a long stretch when force-fed targets and when used as the de facto wide receiver 1 in this offense. So I think the future for him is there, but right now for this season, you just can't trust him because Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to. I think that's the answer. But I would be going out and trying to get Ayuk if I'm rebuilding in Dynasty, since we were talking about Dynasty a little bit there. But he's not somebody that I'm chasing for this season. Also, should I keep Herbert once DeMont comes back? I have Montgomery too. Yeah, I would. I would. We're never sure how effective a player will be coming back from injury. We've seen running backs go through lengthy absences and then just get shut down, like Mixon was last year. I'm not projecting that for David Montgomery this year, but I think that David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert are the 1 and 2 first and second down backs. Even when Montgomery comes back, I think Herbert has a role. I think he's played himself into a role moving forward. I think he is their Damian Williams moving forward. So I'd keep both. Maybe see if you can trade Herbert closer to the deadline and see if there's something that you can get for him, and then you roll with Montgomery for the playoffs, because I do think Montgomery gets the majority of the workload once he comes back, and then see what you can get for Herbert in a week or two. So that's something to think about, but I don't think it's a bad move to have Herbert and Montgomery, just in case something happens to Montgomery for the playoffs. You'll be wishing you had Herbert. So something to think about. Mitchell Benkowski, thoughts on Elijah Moore in Dynasty? I mean, in Dynasty, I like him a lot. I just think he's in a bad situation right now, playing with a quarterback that doesn't quite fit his strengths, and playing in a pretty deep wide receiver room. I mean, Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, say what you will about Denzel Mims and Keelan Cole, and Elijah Moore is there. I think we're maybe a year or two out from seeing Elijah Moore really be a force in fantasy, because he needs the full-time role and he needs a good offense, or an offense that's able to just fire a little bit more. So honestly, I'd be looking to try and get Elijah Moore, because I think you can get him on the cheap based on where he was thought of coming into the season. People are obviously down on him since he hasn't really put anything together, and this offense has been pretty crappy. And I mean, now they're rolling out Mike White instead of Zach Wilson for the next few games, and Zach Wilson doesn't look great when he's been in. So I think, yeah, it's a buy low opportunity for Elijah Moore, if there ever was one. I'm not down on him by any means long term. I just think it's gonna take a few years. And Scriv, you think Burrow for real? Oh yeah, definitely. And so does Khalid. So listen to us, bro. Listen to us. Sorry, I bumped into the table here. Red and gold. Alex Collins still listed as questionable. Is he playing today? Let me double check that. I would think that he's playing today out of necessity. I don't really have much else. Oh, wow. We just got news. Christian McCaffrey, hamstring, is on target to return from injured reserve for the Week 9 slate against the Patriots. So, okay. Chuba Hubbard's going to get one more start, and then CMC is back. So we're going to have to see how that split works out with CMC back in the fold. Looks like Jordan Howard is active for the Philadelphia Eagles, so that running back core is going to be a little bit more muddied now. But let me check on, you had a question about Alex Collins. I don't see anything definitive on here either. Here we go. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reports Alex Collins, groin questionable, is expected to play Week 8 against the Jaguars. So, it's going to play. Looks like it. I'm not super comfortable with playing him, but, I mean, he is a decent last-ditch option because looks like he's going to get the majority of that work. Mitchell Benkowski, his value is dirt. If A-Rob lands somewhere not terrible, his value goes up and you can sell. Yeah, if you have him, I would just hold him. But if you don't have him and you're in Dynasty, I'd be trying to get him, if it's only just to flip him again once his value does go up, once he goes someplace else next season, before he even sees the field. But yeah, I agree, Mitchell. I agree. Oh, and yo, Xavier, yeah, Ertz played already. Oh, yeah. So I'd have to bench him for till next week. Have Knox, who should be back week 10, and and I could flip Freiermuth. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Let me go back up to your original question. So you want Freiermuth for next week? Well, I mean, Ebron might be back. And you already have Knox. I guess I would roll with... that's tough. That's tough because, I mean, Freiermuth is a play this week because Ebron's out this week. I don't know if Freiermuth is a play next week. Honestly, I would roll with Ertz unless you have other options. What are the other options at tight end on your wire? Let me know. And yeah, Notorious Patty had 7 targets last week. And Juju's out. Freiermuth could vault into top 10 TE rest of season. He could, but it really depends. Is Ebron out for an extended absence? I mean, he could continue to garner 7 targets a week. Yeah, I guess I would do that, Xavier. I guess I would go and get Freiermuth. See how he does this week. Worst case, you can flip Freiermuth. Yeah, like you said. So yeah, I would do that. And thanks, Notorious, for that update on Freiermuth. I did not know that. I have not been tuned into what Freiermuth has been doing the past few weeks. So 7 targets is promising. So yeah, that's good to know. Thanks, Notorious. Appreciate it. Tony in the 3rd. Wow, yeah, bro. All the news was down on Tony, and I picked him up with the 1st pick in the 3rd round. So yeah, and I kind of like, I don't know, all the news right now on Cam Akers is good, but I gave Kadarius Toney and a 4th round pick for Cam Akers, and right now it's like, oh man, Toney looks so good when he was playing. He looked like a legit wide receiver 1 for the Giants, so I might end up regretting that trade, but we'll see. Xavier Dubs, hey man, thanks for your kind words, and thanks for tuning in this whole time. Appreciate it. And sorry for needing that clarification up there with the Ertz thing. Ertz already playing this week. 2.5 hours into a live stream. My brain is a little mush. Need some more coffee. The Gone Network. How much do you guys do draft order for Dynasty? How do you guys do draft order for Dynasty? I started to do best ball this year, wondering if someone has a spreadsheet to calculate. That's something that we might roll out on our website eventually, probably at some point in the off season as well. Honestly, we just do a whole lot of research, and in the off season, we'll definitely have our top running back prospects videos, top wide receiver prospects videos, top tight end, top quarterback. So, I mean, tune in the off season, and we'll have that content for you for sure. And we'll be doing live streams again. Like I said earlier, we'll be doing Dynasty-specific live streams in the off-season as well. So if you stay tuned, we'll help you out, the Gone Network, for sure. Scriv, Gronk or Fant? I'm going Gronk as long as he's playing. If he's not playing, Fant's not a bad swerve. You do have to keep tuned there to see if Gronk is playing, because I believe the word on him was he was optimistic to play, but it wasn't confirmed. Let's see if that's been confirmed. I do not believe so. Yeah, it's just there's optimism that Gronk is going to play. That's all I have. But I would go Gronk over Fant. Jason, I'm in one full PPR Dynasty League. I got Tony in the first round, 109. Reach, but I had no second. Nico Collins, 309. Tutu Atwell, 409. Hunter Long, 509. I will need to find value running backs over the next few years. Bro, I think that's solid. Honestly, I think Nico Collins has a chance to really put together a good second half of the season now that he's healthy, and now that, Tyrod Taylor is going to be coming back eventually, I believe. So he's going to have better quarterback play. I think Nico Collins, he has a possibility to put up wide receiver 3 value. If he can really put it together over the next few weeks. Wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3 value for Nico Collins. Tutu Atwell, we might have to wait on him. He very good in college, but I believe he's 5'9", 170 pounds, so he doesn't quite have the body type to really last in the NFL as it stands right now. He looks like a gadget play special teamer, but he could work himself into the rotation. It's just hard rotation to break into with Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson. So, and Hunter Long in the 5th. That's a decent pickup in the 5th. I think you're gonna have to wait some time on Hunter Long, but I do think he was a good prospect. And Tony in the 1st, it might have looked like a reach at the time, but I bet you're happy you have him on your squad in the short and long term. So, yeah, I think that worked out for you to reach for Tony. I got Madison and Dillon at the end of the 2nd. If they were to go somewhere else in the far future, I think they could be RB1s and are great handcuffs right now. Oh, absolutely. Madison, whenever he's playing spot duty for Cook, and Dalvin Cook is a threat to be the wide running back 1 overall for that week. So it just shows you he's almost interchangeable with Cook. Madison is legit. And, Dillon looks like he has the look of a mini Derrick Henry. And I'm not going to put that on him because Derrick Henry's the best running back in the league. But if you're looking at, stature and just physical attributes, I think Derrick Henry's best comparable in the league right now is A.J. Dillon, or the other way around, vice versa. Dillon's best comparable right now from a measurement side of things coming into the league is Derrick Henry. I don't know if we see that ceiling, but he can catch passes. He's good running up the middle. So, yeah, he's relatively versatile for a bigger back. It'll be interesting to see what his future looks like in Green Bay and just for moving forward wherever he ends up. Also, I think it was good that the 2021 draft class was 1/3 of the normal players. I've traded into more picks for next year. Yeah. One thing that I've been doing in Dynasty is trading for a lot of 2023 draft picks because I believe that the 2022 draft class isn't going to be... It hasn't been projected to be one of the better draft classes in the league in recent history. And we are running right up to football time now, but yeah, the 22 you might want to swap when you're on the clock in your draft, because that's when draft picks have the most value, is when you're on the clock or right up to the draft, when people have these names in their mind and they want to go out and get them and they're willing to spend to get that draft capital. That's when draft picks have the most value. I don't know if I've been trying to get away from the 2022 draft class. I've been trading more into the 2023 draft class. So that's something to think about. Something to think about there. Mojasem, start Khalil Herbert, Judy, CeeDee Lamb. I know we're already here. I would go, if Dak sits, start Khalil Herbert, Judy, or CeeDee, and then Herbert, and then Judy, that order, even if Dak sits. Yeah, look into Tyree Jackson, though. We're going to be doing a video on him pretty soon. It's been overdue, to be honest. I've had the Word document sitting on my desktop for a minute, so I got to get to that. Ebron has a hammy injury and wasn't even that good before the injury. I think Ebron's a lost cause. Yeah, but while he's not a startable commodity in fantasy, his presence there is enough to keep Freiermuth from fully breaking out. So if he comes back onto the field, he's just taking work away from Freiermuth. It's not that Ebron is a great fantasy option. He's just siphoning work away from the young boy. Anthony Garcia, what's up, bro? You got one question. I hope we're not too late. Start Gibby or Chiefs running back. I'd be going Gibson. Christopher Sarter, what's going on? Couple of start-sit questions. Chuba Hubbard, Damian Harris, Ryan Tannehill, Bridgewater, Danny Dimes. I think I'm going Damian Harris there. Tannehill, Bridgewater, Danny Dimes. I'm going Bridgewater. Woods, Hubbard, D. Johnson. I'm thinking that's David Johnson. I'm going in flex. I guess I'm going Hubbard or Woods. That's tough. Floor play. Damn. And D. Johnson and Tony in flex. It depends if you have Byron, if you can pick up Pringle or Slayton. But while I like Tony a lot, if you can pick up one of those guys, Byron Pringle or Slayton, I'm going Tony. But if you can't, then you're forced to start the guy that is not questionable. So I'd be going D. Johnson. Woods, Hubbard, D. Johnson. Damn, that's tough. I wish I had Nick to bounce this one off of. I think I'm going Hubbard just because he has the workload. You know he's going to get the workload. It could be a non-Woods week this week. So I think I'm going Hubbard there because I know he's going to get the work. Bridgewater there at quarterback, Christopher. And between Damian Harris and Chuba Hubbard, it's tough, but I'm going Damian Harris there. I'm glad that our prospect videos were a help, Jason. We hope to be better at those in the future. I know there were some takes that we just got all the way wrong. Khalil Herbert, for one. Yeah, but I'm glad they helped, and we're gonna keep pushing them out, especially once we get to the off season. It's gonna be all rookie content, so yeah, we hope it helps when the time comes, and we're glad that it helped move coming into the season. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, 2023 draft class. Look it up. Type into Google 2022 draft class versus 2023 draft class, and you'll see what I'm talking about there. The quarterbacks look better. The running backs look better. The wide receivers look a little bit like a wash. It looks like the 2022 draft class and the 2023 draft class, wide receiver wise, is going to be comparable, but running back wise, quarterback wise, 2023 draft class is gets the edge. And because of that, because there's more positions with more depth, good depth gets pushed farther down board. So it's really good to have second and third round picks in the 2023 draft class, whereas in the 2022 draft class, those second and third round picks might not turn into the greatest prospects. So something to look out for, and we'll be doing videos on that for sure. Start 2 PPR and Greg, Waddle, Devonta Smith, Cole Beasley, Judy. Start 2. I'm starting Cole Beasley, and between Devonta Smith and Waddle's the floor play, Devonta Smith is the ceiling play, but considering Cole Beasley is kind of a floor play PPR guy, and it's PPR, we could expect 9-10 targets for Cole Beasley. It really just depends which way you're willing to go. Waddle should see Tre'Davious White, but he should be heavily targeted as one of the only 2 real pass-catching options in that offense. It's him and Gesicki. Devonta Smith, he's been consistent. So I guess I'd go Cole Beasley and Devonta Smith. Don't come back at me if I'm steering you wrong. Actually, do hold us accountable for sure. Khalid Dynasty question: first round Etienne and Smith, second round Gainwell, third round Diami Brown. Traded Kenny G in a second round for Calvin Ridley and another first. I mean, that's great. Yeah, you won that trade, and I know it stinks that you got Etienne in the first and he got the injury, but that's still good process. And getting him and Smith, great building blocks. In the second round, getting Gainwell, great building block for running back depth. Third round, De'Ami Brown. He has to work himself out. That situation, I expect it to get better. He's just been so banged up. And even when he's in, I mean, he hasn't been trustworthy. He is a downfield speedster type. So he's not the type of guy that's going to garner a ton of targets, but he's the type of guy that can blow it up on one play. So you might be playing the long game with De'Ami Brown just because he needs to get all the way healthy, he needs to acclimate to the NFL game, and the quarterback situation there is just a little bit suspect. So you might be waiting a little bit on De'Ami Brown, but I like that draft, bro, and I like that trade. It's a great move. Matthew Seaver, Darrell Williams, or Damian Harris? I am going to be signing off here pretty soon. This is the last question I think I'm going to be answering because I want to watch some football, yo. But Darrell Williams, the Chiefs are playing the Giants. The running backs right now, the Giants are giving up. Let me see. The Giants are middle of the pack. They're giving up 23.1 fantasy points to opposing running backs. And the Patriots are playing the Chargers. And they're giving up 26.3 fantasy points to opposing running backs. So it's almost like a 5-point difference. I'm playing whoever's playing the Chargers. I'm playing Damian Harris there. I know he has to share the workload with a few more guys in Brandon Bolden, Ramondre, whether or not he's healthy, J.J. Taylor. But I'm going Damian Harris there because he's got the best matchup, and they're going to be using him. And yeah, yo, Jason, he destroyed that trade. Kenny G in a second for Calvin Ridley and another first. That's insane. What year was that first? That's insane. But yo, you guys, I'm winding down here. I want to go watch some football, enjoy the rest of my Sunday. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy watching football. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Thanks for answering your questions. Thanks for all the super chats and all the support. Hope you guys have a great day and a great Halloween. And tune in Tuesday 6 p.m. Got another stream for you guys to help go over who you should be picking up for that Wednesday waiver deadline. So tune in with us on Tuesday 6 p.m. But thanks for tuning with us today, and have a great day.